All right. Another week, another Centre Circle podcast, episode 114. I've got a full house. Is this the first time I've had a full house this season?
Yep.
In this studio.
In this studio? Yeah. So everyone stopped gallivanting, doing their
You stopped
Mykonos
gallivanting.
and Marbellas and all of that. Yeah? You guys decided to turn up.
Yeah.
Who went to LA? Anyway, as you can hear, I've got the usual vagabonds with me. Adrian, Keith and Isaac. How you doing, boys?
Oh, good, thank you.
Good, man. Good.
Not bad.
All right, we've got a very, very special guest today. We're going to get into a topic that I don't think is talked about enough
At all.
in the English
At all.
in the English game. Please welcome Raoni Medina, CEO and founder of Modern Play Football Consultancy. How you doing?
Oh, good. Thank you. Thanks first for having me here. So it's really
No, it's our
an honor
pleasure.
for me to be here. I follow you guys. So
Oh,
it's
appreciate
really
it.
nice to
Thank
be
you.
here.
It's our pleasure. Thanks for coming down. One of the main reasons we wanted to have a chat today was because, futsal was, big part of your career. And we're all old men here, so we do remember a time where everyone in the UK pretended that they were
That's a
interested
very
in
good
futsal, right?
Very
You
appropriated.
know, BBC Sport, all these guys were talking about it. And then I just feel like it just disappeared off the face of the earth. So when our friend introduced us, I said, I'd love to have that conversation with you and understand, your personal career. You got some impressive stats, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I've seen your name on the wall at St. George's. We'll get to that. And then also, understanding the state of where futsal is today in the English game.
Yeah.
And why you feel that maybe England hasn't, and it may spread through to Europe as well. That's another question I have for you. But why England has not really embraced futsal as another branch of the sport, and as a really, really key developmental tool for England's future players.
Perfect.
All right, cool. So let's
I
start
literally
right.
before midnight, by the way.
Don't worry. We'll get you back for a part 2. For a part 2.
It's a pleasure.
So start me right at the beginning. What's your your entry into sort of organised team? I don't want to make any assumptions. So whether you were playing futsal and football from a young age, take us all the way back.
Cool. Perfect. So majority of people know. So I grew up in Brazil. In Brazil, people think like it's the football country.
Yeah.
But we don't play football until age 14, 15. There's not many football pitches around, so it's not like London, for example, have very blessed. You have parks everywhere for you to go and kick the ball. There now have districts, which is dead for 10, 15 years, unfortunately, and then schools where futsal quota. So majority, to don't say every single football player in Brazil, they grew up playing futsal, much more. My personal situation was growing up in the 80s. I played futsal from my 5 to my 13 years old. So that's when the first football academy was arriving in the town that I born. And then I went to make a trial at 90 players somewhere. And then 13 of us was accepted to play. And then the first question was raised up to us was anyone here has played futsal? I was quite scared to put my hands up. I said, yes, I do. Why do I need to stop? I said, no. You go to school in the morning, football in the afternoon, futsal in the evening.
Wow.
And that from my 13 to my 17 years old, that was my life. So very busy man and playing both sports, competing both sports, but obviously football has priority.
But they made sure that futsal was part of your
100%,
program.
100%.
Yeah,
It's inside the Brazilian DNA football.
Yeah.
And it's really funny, just make a post there about me, but it's funny as people say, oh, Brazilian, it's something special. And it's you guys think there's water, it's on the blood, it's on the genes, it's something on the foundation of that Brazilian football where no one's used. Now, thanks God, a lot of people is waking up for that. But back in time, say, so they're so special. Why? It's because of that. Started back in time with Pelé. But then going back to myself, I kept playing both sports, competing both sports, but obviously because financial reason, everyone turns more to football than futsal. And then I got signed to by an agent who took me to Sports in Lisbon.
Oh, amazing.
So then I joined Sports in Lisbon B Academy Football.
Yeah.
And then there I shared pitch with Ronaldo, Hugo Viana, and a few other top players,
Okay,
Quaresma.
sorry. I'm just going to make a slight deviation here.
Yeah.
Just a slight one, right?
Yeah.
So you were playing with him at what age? 14, 15? The Cristiano I'm talking about.
No, 17.
17?
Yeah. So
even better.
I'm 40 years. I'm a couple of years older than him.
Yep.
So he was coming because he was quite extra class or come to training for us. So I was playing for Sporting Lisbon B team,
Yep.
and he was coming from the under 18s to come and play with us. He and Hugo Viana, who play for Newcastle as well, who is now City Sports Director.
Yeah.
So both of them.
Right. Because last week we did a bit of a segment. I'm not sure if you saw it, where we did Wonder Kids, right?
Yeah. I saw it.
Right. So I've been getting, a lot of what's the word? Criticism.
No hate.
Yes, criticism, because I didn't include Cristiano, because what I said was he started to do amazing things for his age when he got to 20-ish, right? And we were talking about people that were doing adult things in the first team at 17, 18. Here is someone that played with him at 17, 18, right? Was I correct?
It's correct.
That's what I'm saying.
But forget about the pitch itself. In terms of, I'm a witness of that. I saw with my own eyes. In terms of, and then it's fun enough because people ask me, because I played, Quaresma was in Sporting Lisbon B.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But then if you compare technique, like if you go about technique, you can compare Quaresma to Ronaldo. Quaresma was a different level. But Ronaldo had this mindset since he come from Madeira to Lisbon to play for Sporting, which is going to the gym during the night, and he wanted to be, especially when after he lost his dad. 100%,
Okay.
and that put him where he is in these days. But technique-wise, Quaresma was much better. But the guy overcome Quaresma, and he's really starting today. So.
No, amazing. Okay, so Sporting Lisbon.
Then I had few issues over there in terms of that time that didn't work. The word bullying didn't exist at that time. But because I was coming from Brazil, came from agent / director from the club. Only Portuguese / Portuguese, African players, like Angola, Mozambique. So that was very difficult for them to accept me in the team. So that kind of this guy's Brazilian, I don't want Brazilians here. That kind of things jealously. And then I had that really bad time there. I tried to leave after 6 months. Luckily, my mom went with me to Lisbon, so she stayed there with me.
Because you're in Portugal now.
My mom
you're
went
relatively
with me.
young. You're on your own, but your
my
mom was
dad
there.
and my son stayed in Brazil, and then my mom come with me, luckily. After a couple of months, I was convinced to go back. I went back, but then things start to carry on. So to the point where 22 in the squad, and then we doing some pairs warm up, and then people say, I don't want to do it with this guy. Wow. And then the fitness coach used to go. But then down the line, when I explain my England journey, you're gonna understand that everything happens for a reason.
But anyone that's played in a team, no matter what level, you see that stuff happening, right? You see people get into cliques and behaviors, even for managers. And you guys that have played semi-pro, I didn't play semi-pro for that long, but you've always had stories for years about how that kind of stuff forms. So no one will be surprised to hear that.
And it's to the point where I remember there's that was a defender called Santa Maria, who was the England Portugal under 20 captain. And he was I swear 2 meters. And then we are doing 1v1 drill and then finishing. That guy, I was moving my hip in front of him and just completely leave the ball that's it. And then go again. The coach said, go back to the kill. I said, okay, cool. Go that again. But that made me strong, But then got to one day, I couldn't hold that anymore. I went home and I said to my mom, I can't deal with this anymore. Yeah. And then I came to England. I decided to go back to Brazil. But then I started to play. Before I go to Brazil, let me go to England, learn some English, and then go back to Brazil to do my uni, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, someone saw me playing in the park and then took me again to play. Went to Iran to play, then going around, come back to England, play semi-pro until 25 years old when I had my first son. And then I said whoa. I didn't make money yet. Be 500, 600 a week. I don't know how to do anything in my life. I finished school, I left. Where I born, so
because you were chasing football, right? And then that football hasn't provided that life for you.
Exactly. And then I have a friend who grew up with me with the same situation. He was playing in Iceland at the time, and then he came to spend Christmas here with me, one of mid of season holidays. And then he come to me and said, look, I'm decided, because he came to do a try on Brentford when Brentford was League One. That was in 2006, if I'm not wrong. And then he said, my agent took me here, gonna be 3 weeks at Brentford. If I'm not accept there, I will go back. I said, why, bro? So man, I'm 25. My dad has business there. 5 years away from him. I don't know how to do anything. So, no, I'm not going to just say I'm pro. I'm not giving up this.
Yeah, of course.
And then he didn't have a son at the time. And then I said, wow. That was really green light in my head. So whoa, we need to do something. And then I decided, you know what? I'm going to stop. I'm going to go to the uni. I'm going to do something. I don't want to play anymore. which like very broken heart. And then everything started with futsal, because then some people as well saw me playing, and they approached me when the FA was launching the first FA Futsal League back 2006, 2007. And then people say, hey man, you played the game when I was a child, so why don't come? I said, man, I've been pro all my life, go to kick the ball, like in the park, I prefer to do it with my son, you know, like there is a total mindset, because for me it was like, I was still young, I was still fit, and you grew up with that dream, and then it's like, oh, it's nothing against it. But like switch from that to new reality.
Yeah, I'm here. I was.
And then people
go,
ago, and then people go to kick the ball, but they drink at the same time. They smoke. And then I'd be like, you know,
welcome to England.
you know. And then I'd be like, oh, enough. Like, can we meet after? Like, I really don't. And then anyway, they come, no, but you can be part of the beginning of FA help. And then someone from FA approached me as well. So okay, let's start. And then I started. And then after a few years, after a couple of years, I started to play futsal, pro futsal again. Then I went abroad, Cyprus. I went to America to play soccer indoor, come back. And then I got my citizenship. And then, then long story short, I've been 6 years over England captain, which for me is the biggest honor I have in my life. England gave me all. So I spent majority of my life here. My wife is English. My kid's born here. My life was made here. And that's I think I summarized my life. But now we can get into details a little bit more.
Amazing. So, but you glossed over it a little bit, right? So I've seen a picture where you've been given a special cap for having 50 plus appearances for the England futsal team.
Yeah.
And if we just take the futsal away, even making 50 plus appearances for an England team is an amazing achievement. What was your total? What's your total?
52, thanks to COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Indoor sports.
Yeah.
So
amazing.
we stopped on 2020.
Yeah.
Well, then everything happened. But if you guys remember, the problem with the women's football happened in 2020 with the FA.
Yeah.
A lot of people was forced to resign. And then that was the end of futsal. That then, unfortunately, I need to say that out and loud, Mark Bullingham took place.
Yes.
And then everything started to go downfall for futsal.
Okay.
When a year before, we agreed and they promoted over the country, fast forward the futsal for 5 years.
Yeah.
And during that period, futsal was growing so much. And that's why you see so many people have academies all over the country. It's not only London. Back in time, it should be just like London area. If you go north, if you go south, you find a lot of futsal academies in the country. And then we had signed a contract with Pokemon. I don't know if you guys remember. We signed $5 million deal with Pokemon.
Okay.
Our budget with FA was like 850 at that time.
Wow.
Our budget would go for 1 million per season.
Wow.
Okay.
Amazing. So they were ready to put in. It was a big commitment.
No, that was already there.
Yeah.
So COVID comes, FA situation. They allegedly they don't have any money. They can't keep money, and then they need to be redirecting money. So what they organized like a video call with us, and then they just explained, look, we need to stop this now. You're gonna use but we have the money. So like, no, we're gonna use this spread that between women's football and youth. I said, but what about the women who play futsal as well? There's a lot in the country. Unfortunately, you need to prioritize, and that's long story short. That's what happened.
Crazy.
Funding.
Yeah.
So that's what I say.
But it sounds like it was more the situations, the circumstances that FA was going through, and specific people.
One
leaving.
person, literally.
Yeah, literally just.
And he got let's say hammered on social media by a lot of people, a lot of parents, academy owners who was draw inside. They throw them in there. It's like this big possibility to invest heavily in here, and then suddenly say like, we're not investing anymore. So sorry. And then we are in the middle of the European competition, the UEFA qualifiers, and they took us out of the competition. We are supposed to go to Moldova. We're supposed to go to Macedonia.
Yeah.
To play one of the qualifiers, and we could not have the trip because they took all the funding out.
That is crazy. So you know what? I didn't realize until I started researching a couple of days ago, because I thought you'd retired, but actually they actually just stopped.
They stopped
participating in futsal. But so when I was reading all your stuff, I just thought, he's retired. Let me go and look at how the futsal team is doing without you, and I couldn't find a team. So it was super.
We still have it today, but now what they did is because that was looking so bad to them, and a lot of people. The good thing what happened in England, which you can't find elsewhere, like is the sport grew organically. So between parents, coach, and kids. So for me, that gave me hope. because the foundation will be really strong. You know, when you start, let's say, if a guy futsal head get into the top and say, now I'm gonna push this because I know this way, and then try to convince people is much harder. But then when it's these organic things, say parents like it, kids love it, coaches see benefit on it. Like when you put these three together, when these people start to grow, the sport will
can
be
leverage
back.
it.
You know?
You can leverage it. Wow. Well, your name is now inscribed on the wall in St. George's Park, right?
2 names above Hurricane.
Get that out there.
I was about to say, I saw it.
I like that.
And I love the way, and it's how it should be, right? Whatever sport it is, you represent England, you're at the top of your particular sport. Indeed. So, seeing your name there with all of the big stars, etc., that must be such a proud moment for you and your family.
Well, for me, as I said before, this is the biggest honor I have in my life. Like I can't compare the privilege, especially going where I come from. So and then I see the journey I went through, and then everything was worthy.
All the rubbish you went through at Sporting Lisbon and everything.
Everything, but then again, and make more special because futsal doesn't have the money that football has, and then it's much you put a lot of passion, and then your reward is different than money. Money drives, and then you see that in Premier League and Premier League players, England national team players, guys. So not harming the guys, but like if you watch, I was a captain for 6 years. When I was captain, Hurricane was very captain as well. And then I seen his interview before we go to the Euros when he lost to Spain, the final last Euros. The reporter was interviewing him. That thing stuck in my head. And she was saying like, "Oh, we can't believe at this time. We have like a very good team. We are solid. Like we have like players playing like top leagues in Europe. Like we are ready to win." Oh, I don't think that's the pressure is necessary. You know, like I think like people would be happy if you gave our best. And that conversation would be like, "Are we are Wales here in Scotland? What is this?" You know, take the things. And no. We are good enough to win.
You're in the final.
We hit the final. But then when you reach there, so that mentality doesn't apply. And then inside England futsal, I had the same problem. You know, trying to convince players. And then I share with you the story after when I first became captain. It's quite an interesting story. Very emotional story for me. You want to know now?
Yeah.
So Perth. So basically, I was 1 year inside the national team. The first foreigner basically who played for England, any England team. And then a lot of pressure was on me. Okay, so he's using England or he came here just to promote himself, which I wasn't. So and then I create a block in my mind to say like, look, I need to do extra to prove people wrong. You know. And then after a year, the then captain, he retired. And then going for a camp in Norwich. We were playing double heads against Finland. And then the coach called me, say, Raoni, come here. Just get in, say hi. Can I have a time for a coffee in the reception? I said, okay, yes, let's go. I was so scared. I said, like, I did something wrong. This guy. And then he said, like, look, very quick. We got training tonight. Do you want to be my captain this weekend? I look in his eyes. I said, yes. They said, are you sure? You know what that means? I said, yes, I want you. And then I was shaking. I shake his hand, said, okay, go rest. And then we'd see, I tell the players in the dinner tonight after the training. I said, okay, cool. I remember going to the lift crying. And then went to the room, started to pray, thank God for that. And then I called my wife, spoke to her. She was my girlfriend at the time. And then I was so happy. Then I go downstairs and then started again. You know, the kind of things, jokes and people jealous because there's no English. They never mention it. But from that,
you can feel it.
And then from that day, I think, whoa. My journey now starts where like the sensation where I'm walking with like 10 players with a knife ready to stab on my back. So I said, I need to prepare myself mentally for that.
And was there any of the feeling of almost going through again what you went for at Sporting Lisbon a little bit? Was there a little bit of that coming up where I'm not doing this again?
That was different. That's what I said to you before. That gave me strength to face this.
Exactly.
When the fear came, I said like, oh my God, do it again. I said like, no. You already gave up your dream there. You don't gonna get another one. I said like, you're not gonna have another chance. I said like, no, I will face it. And then so then we went for the first game a couple of days later, and I remember being warming up with one of the senior players at the time of the squad. He was in the team for like 4 or 5 years, and then the whistle blow. Our fitness coach was right in the center of the court. Said, okay, last minute talk. And then he said, good luck. I said, like, good luck? I said, then I put my heads up. That was a circle waiting for me. And I was walking for one goal to the center of the court. I was like, oh my Lord, I didn't prepare anything. What am I gonna say? But then I always I loved caffeine, okay? So every time I was playing, I was like my espresso, my Red Bull there. So
You're wired.
So I don't mind, you know. I just get there, say like, Lord, please put the right words on my mouth. And then I grabbed them. I remember very well that it's a very special moment for me. I said, like, look, I know some of people here doesn't want I'm here. Or some people here doesn't believe why I feel for this badge here. But I can tell you here, in this circle, all arena here, like fill it up arena, it's no one feel this badge more than me. Don't know why. Because the guys didn't choose. I choose, and I know the sacrifice I have made to be here. So now let's go there and let's win. People's like, what this guy is about. Anyway, so long story short, we won 2-1, and I scored the winner 2-1. So that was very special day for me because my parents, my mom, she stayed in Portugal, so she flew over with my stepdad, and my then girlfriend, wife today was there as well with my old son. So that was really, really, really beautiful moment for me.
Amazing. No, amazing.
Yeah. That, I think I summarize what England means to me.
Yeah,
it means
of
everything.
course. Yeah. And it's great to hear those kind of stories and for everyone to understand why you're so passionate about futsal. But now let's get into futsal itself, right? So, we already talked about it's not as big in the UK as it should be. You've just given us a little bit of a story as to why that rise I saw from the outside in stopped. But what is it about futsal that makes it so amazing for the development of football players in their general game? For people that don't know or haven't seen enough of futsal.
Okay, so to start with, the words I use when people approach me with the subject, I say like the transferables between futsal and football on these days is undeniable. It's undeniable. 10, 15 years ago, you'd say, football is played in one pace. You guys are so crazy, run and this and that. Football is like calm down. So like you once right back, you die right back. Cafu, you once a center back like Baresi, you play like it's different. Like calm down. You guys are too crazy. Football is different. And then with the evolution of the game of football, futsal become more relevant and more relevant and more relevant. Not only the technical side of it, but like using both feet, playing different positions. Associations, transitions, and you go on, body scanning, and you can go on and on and on and on. That's the nuances of the game of futsal. And then when I joined UEFA after my retirement, I joined the UEFA MIP, which is Master for International Players. So we are 29 in the course. Is executive masters, and then one futsal player per group. So the futsal player was me, and then on my group was like Sami Khedira, Vidic, Luizão, many top players. Okay, so that is the level. Then Baba, so that is the level of the course. So it's the best one. And then during that 2 years, each one of us we need to go for a personal project, and then UEFA provide you a mentor. And then you sit down with them because it's all through university, so it's not like it's a proper master. And then say, okay, so which one you want to do? Say, I don't know. So like, why don't do your life story, which is really nice and beautiful? So like, whoa, that's it. And then that's it. So I decided to go this how futsal support football in these days and these transferables. And then I went to South America, I went to Middle East, I went to North America, Europe, and interview players, parents, and COs. So like, okay, so why you say this? How you say this? How is in your coach? Blah, blah, blah. And then long story short, my job become after finishing this master a couple of years ago, with going around doing consultancy to clubs, coaching education. So a couple of weeks ago was with Zidane 5 clubs. So all Zidane 5 clubs, football academies they have in France.
Okay.
So they go for a week in Switzerland. And then one day was just with me. And then I take them to the football pitch. I don't take them to the football court. So just to show the really transferables. And then you can go through the transferables if you want. I can give you some examples of it.
Yeah. That'll be great.
Yeah, so basically...
What's the biggest transferable? What do you think that a player is missing? The biggest thing they're missing, if they don't engage with futsal, they've not had futsal as part of their development.
Okay, so answer this question, I'm going to tell short stories. As you know, I love stories.
Yeah.
So was Santos, watching the Santos, well, in Brazil, they have a very specific way to do things there, okay? So it's very cultural thing, which majority of the coaches from under 7 to under 14, majority of them come from, they converted from futsal coach to football coach, okay? And then why, you may ask, is because, as I said before, every single person that who kick a ball, they kick futsal ball first, and then they carry on a career, and then they change or not change. Okay, so this guy, I approach him because he's one of the top under 15 coaches in Brazil, and approach him and say, Mister, can I have a conversation with you while you give me the training session? I say, of course, yes. You don't mind being here? And I said, no. So like, do you see any benefits coming from futsal to football pitch, to coach? I said, well, you take me for 40 meters by 20 and put in a big pitch. That is one, but forget about that. So imagine you and me, we are plumbers, okay? The same years of experience, we went to the same school. We go to sort out our kitchen. Who has more chance to sort it out? So, well, 50-50. You said, like, all the same. I said, like, no, myself. I said, why? Because I'm not better than you, but inside my bag, I have more tools than you. I said, bingo. That's it. It's not necessarily certain things. You say, oh, futsal players does this, so I need to copy. No. It's in a situation where the player needs to decide. They have more tools to sort out. Yeah. That's why Brazilian players, Spanish players, Portuguese players, Argentinian players, which is the more expensive players in the world now for the last 10 years, fun enough, futsal is in the foundation of the game. So you can go through Portugal and Spain before futsal come, which was part of my research with UEFA, and what Portugal and Spain are now after futsal get introduced to their schools. So then that's it. So in a situation where, let's say, an English player who never kicked a futsal ball in their life, they're gonna go, whoa, they have one or two options. A futsal player, a guy who was introduced to futsal early, got 4 or 5. And that's for me, that is the key. It's not being like certain things, but I design a document with like 25 of those. So when one day I really go to, from Real Madrid Academy doing coaching education, Inter Miami, many academies that I went through the last 2 years. And then I put coach there. So like, look, I never had this answer. So maybe today it's going to be my blessed day with someone going to give me answer in this, okay? This guy's talking about. So like, okay, cool. Can you in this room, can I explain me? That counts for you for as well. In 2025, why you don't show kids in football to finish with their toes? Toe poke finish.
Well,
listen.
Good.
You see, when I was young,
Yes.
there was a few of us that used to do that, and we used to get told off. Don't do that.
It's a negative thing. It's seen as a bit of a lazy thing, isn't it?
Not lazy, but
it's
poor technique.
It's not beautiful to see.
Yes.
And then my point come, like toe poke finish, you need one movement. You walking, you running, you finish. Any other finish is 3 movements. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Okay. So the game evolved. Remember I mentioned before? Inside the box, you don't have time. By the time you lift your leg, someone coming up. If you see Lamine Yamal against Borussia Dortmund, quarterfinals, Champions League quarterfinals. I don't know if you guys go back. If he turned his foot to go inside foot, the guy was liable. The only way he could finish with his toes.
But we used to do it because we would see people like Romario. He used to do
Ronaldo.
it. Yeah,
2020.
Ronaldo, Brazil versus Turkey.
Yeah, 2002.
That goal when he on the edge of the box.
So we used to do it, and people would be like, "Oh, look at that toe pad," or "Look at." So it was almost
frowned upon.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of seen as a clearance.
Yeah.
You'd only toe punt it to clear the ball, not as a.
He was seen like as a bad player. He didn't do it.
100%.
You know,
especially in a coach session. So even when you're playing with your friends in the team, whatever, it'll be a bit funny thing. But you go into a coach session and you're doing finishing and you toe punt the ball. No.
And then again, on top of that, ask any goalkeeper in the world. Ronaldinho against Chelsea, Stamford Bridge.
Yep.
Peter Cech, the best goalkeeper in the earth.
Because you get more pace on it, don't you?
No, because a part of that, the pace, which is true, is like your body. You don't send message, you finish. I'm talking to you, I'm finished.
Yeah, that's it.
Anything else, I need to do this, I need to do that.
Yeah, it's not telegraphed.
I'm talking, you can finish.
And
you don't expect. And he was like, the ball go. Like, it's that kind of things like no one gives answers. And then you go on so, which still on these days, now, thanks God, it's going really, really low level of coach saying to the kids, no, what's the so. But like, the Derby happened in Brighton. And then the first big media, which was the Athletic, the magazine, who was talking about so in football was in 2023. Do you imagine? You play the sport with your feet.
Yeah.
And the first, a reliable football, like sports football magazine talking about the soul in the sport was in 2023.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. And then it became like, okay, everyone now stop the ball, especially goalkeepers.
Yeah.
But if you read...
And they roll the ball to the left,
again,
to the right.
Listen, training session, they brought in these coaches. I can't remember where they were from, but they were from a pro team.
Yep.
So we was doing a drill where there was someone in the middle. The ball would get fired into them. They've got to control it and then move it, right? So the ball's come into me. I've put my foot on it to survey. So I put my foot in to survey. And I didn't like linger. It was literally foot on, quick look, move it. Blew the whistle, stop. Don't put your foot on the ball. Don't put your sole on the... I'm like, but that... So
It can roll under your foot.
Yeah, like all of that. No, seriously. And I'm sitting there thinking, wait, that doesn't make sense to me. Like everything I've got, because I grew up playing indoor football a lot, like in 5-a-side football, 7-a-side football, all of that. So all of these movements, like the toe poke, again, that's why I used to do it. And then I got told not to do it. Sole on the ball.
Stepping on the ball is
Stepping on
increased
the ball.
control.
Bro,
when I go to
it's
teach
insane.
kids on the
It's
subject
insane.
that he's saying now, I when I do the kids, because I do some kids for the coach to see. Okay, so Charlton, I was a couple of weeks ago, was the same. So I get there under 12s, and then all the coach from the academy was there watching me.
Okay.
So then I stopped the ball there in between my legs, okay, and then I asked the kids like, who the ball belongs to? The kid's gonna say you. I said like, no. I'm nearest. I'm close to the ball, but the ball doesn't belong to me. Now, when I step the ball, I say, now, who the balls belong to?
Yeah.
Mine. I said, like, look now, I can turn. Then I go around. Without taking my foot, I can rotate. I can dribble. I can make you dizzy. I can pass. All with my soul. With there, if you go full ball inside and then turn around, and then your whole body needs to turn. You know, and again, then when I go, they say like, it's not for you to use that all the time, but go back to the tools back. It's like when it's necessary, your soul is there. Your toe poke is not for you to finish with your toes all the time. Come on.
Yeah, and even the whole soul thing, for me personally, it was always about making space. That's when I used to use it when I had the ball. You know, if I'm in a tight situation or I want to make a pass, I would use that to, you know, give myself
to
an angle.
protect.
Yeah.
Your body, someone
And keep it
stepping the ball.
moving, etc. And but as you're talking now, I'm thinking, okay, well, I didn't. No coach ever said that to me, and I never played futsal, but that was just because the football I loved at the time was all the South American players. It was all the Brazilian players, you know, and their style and the way they played, and I think, look, everyone we played with our age, we're all from the same area. Everyone loved that type of football.
Everyone.
Whenever we talk about our favorite players, etc. So some of that did seep in, but then the players who made it through the system, and we've talked about this before, it's like it's almost coached out.
Yeah, no, it's not almost. It is coached
Yeah, it's
out.
coached out,
It is
yeah.
coached out.
And you get one or two that would go through if they had a crazy enough manager. Joe Cole was one I think about, right?
Yeah.
Harry Redknapp didn't care. He just did what he wanted. And at that time, people like Joe Cole couldn't play, weren't allowed to play in the centre of the park. And he put Joe Cole right in the middle of the pitch, right in the centre of the park. So it's really interesting to hear you talk about this now and what people were doing or what coaches were specifically taking out of games. That's what I find really interesting, like from this conversation.
And you see the lack of the English players doing this, you know, and then that's my work, and but sometimes feel like knocking the walls, you know, because people think like the problem we have today is like when I go for my consultants, I speak to CEOs and academy directors, like the problem football people, which I'm part of as well, like you guys live in one bubble, and you talk to him. He talks to him, and you guys be talking between your four. So the conversation, the source is pretty
Echo
much the
chamber.
same, and you don't progress. And then I read a book once when I was doing my executive master college, Game Changer. It's by this Portuguese guy who came to London when he was 7 years old, and he grew up here. It's a very interesting book. I would advise you guys to read. And then he was like amazed by what happened with Team GB with the Olympics. Okay, so in 1996, Team GB finished behind Belgium and Kazakhstan in numbers of medals. Okay, and they said like, whoa, we screwed. We just got the bid now for London 2012. We need to do something, otherwise it's going to be embarrassing from the whole world. What they did, one of the nuances of the game, they get sports scientists and retired athletes. They put all together. And one of the nuances of the book is like they got one basketball player, switch to the handball team, one handball player to the volleyball team, one volleyball to the swimming, to the athletics. And I say, why are you guys doing this? I said, whoa, calm down. This guy come with different backgrounds, different views, different questions. Make something here can work. And then you drag that to football, how Guardiola changed the way we play.
Yep.
Talking, if you read his book, he's talking to the handball coach, to basketball coach, to the futsal coach at Barcelona. And the guy completely changed the game. Some people like, some people don't, but it's undeniable that he changed the game because he got out of the bubble. And it's nothing wrong. You and then when I go to this, I speak to like man, whatever you do is good enough because that's where you sat right now. It proves that how you're good. But is that the roof? Is that the ceiling? Is nothing else there? You cannot get any better. It's not to change, it's to add.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm not trying to take away what you know. I'm trying to give you more.
It's just adding. You know, it's like
Yeah.
adding and say like, look, in football right now, 2025, we still see 180. It's another 180 there where I'm presenting to you, which you can make 260. It's not like ignore what I did and completely change. No. It's just this. You don't need to go to a futsal court right now. Just do that on the pitch.
Yeah. Incorporate as part of the training and the coaching.
Of course.
So, I mean, what I've heard so far is there's undeniable evidence
Undeniable.
at the largest scale, right? So there's undeniable evidence that introducing futsal as part of the developmental curriculum in the end results in producing players at a national level of a certain type in 3 of the biggest leagues and football countries in Europe, and then Brazil for the last how many years. So why is England so reluctant to invest in it and see the same results as everyone else has done? That's my big question.
Well, then we need to go back and ask the same questions. Why volleyball is not big here? Why basketball is not big here? Why handball is not big here? When it's everywhere else in the globe is famous and people play pro game, okay? My point is still this Commonwealth sports, which is still there. We deny it, but it's still there. So
we still have the Commonwealth Games, don't we?
Exactly. So you can't deny that. Like basketball is, for me, allegedly, is the second biggest sport in the earth. Okay, if you take football out, it's like it's where people play more. And we better have a league here, which is like kind of semi-pro league. And we talk about England, where money, infrastructure, people, marketing. So we have everything here, and the sports doesn't grow. Volleyball doesn't exist basically. Handball even less. So you need to go back to this to find why futsal didn't grow up. However, again, if you go to France, they started to do it when we started. Today they're 10th on the rank. They create a futsal center in South France, and you see players who is going through futsal pathway, which Dembele, Desiré Doué. It's not coincidence, this kind of things. Turkey on City now. So these players all be involved with futsal in the game.
Ryan Turkey,
Okay, so you
makes
see,
sense now.
and then if you see these players, just from now on, start to see Brazilian players, Portuguese players, Spanish players. You're gonna see a lot in common with these players. Okay, so unexpected movements, unexpected pass. So, for example, Vinicius and Rodrigo, who grew up playing futsal until they're 14 years old. So, what I do, like in football, when I go as well, for one of the transfers is the fake movement. Okay, so I make the pass, I fake, and I go.
Yeah.
You know, so everyone in football, from Premier League to Sunday League, they're gonna buy. If you do this and swing, you go that way, I'm going free to receive the ball back.
Yeah.
So that thing is teachable, and doesn't need you to change anything. You're not gonna be doing that all the time. You know, it's that thing where they say, oh, it's a lot on that game there where, you know, I can, if I want. That's what Junior came here and spoke to you guys. He's so interested in this because he's clearly seen it. And he see his players, as you said, you went to see his under 12. It's not coincidence.
No, at all. Right.
So,
I just quickly, just to that point of watching the under 12s, like you can clearly see there's an influence in their style of play. Right, 100%. And like you said, the fake movements, it's the small things, it's the nuanced things, the movement, the way they control the ball, the way they move the ball, the way they pass the ball,
Confidence,
calmness, exactly, the decision making.
The ball's not a hot potato.
The decision making is very key.
Yeah.
And when you watch, like, if you watch them and you go compare that to even grown men playing football, and you see it's a clear difference. It's
become more evident. Daily.
Yeah.
So I've got almost a slightly different question to ask you then. So, futsal is still prevalent and popular in Brazil, right?
Totally.
So I think, and again, guys, chip in. But as someone who kind of fell in love with football partially because of Brazil and the type of players, there's an argument to say that Brazil are not producing a certain type of player anymore. The way the Brazil team plays is almost
English,
boring and European-esque almost.
And you've got Paul Clement coaching them at the moment.
So I'm just interested in
It's true.
You're a troublemaker. You know?
Did he take him with him? Yeah. Oh my days, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did. He took him. And if his son didn't go and do something else, he'd have taken him too.
Instead of his son signed for Botafogo.
So it's really, from your point of view, what do you think is happening there? Because it's really interesting to hear you talk about the type of players that futsal can produce, and it's a big reason for all the magic. That's because that's what I call it. Because I still watch stuff that those guys did 15, 20 years ago, and I can't figure out how they did it, right? So that produced that magic. But a lot of people would argue today, if they had to name Brazilian players in that ilk, they would struggle.
Two reasons for me. Remember, go back to what I said in the beginning when you asked about myself. So remember I said to you, my integration finished at the age of 17.
Yeah.
Now the integration is ending at the age of 13. And you may ask why? Money. So at the age of 14, 13, they need to be fully football. Because they need to prepare the player to, at the age of 16 years old, sell them, like Hendrick, Rodrigo, Vinicius, etc. For the age of 18, they leave and they come. So that is the main thing right now. So they cut their progression. Okay, so they finished their thing, and he already signed with Real Madrid or City or whatever.
Yeah. By the time they're 16.
So. Well, they signed. Rodrigo signed at 16. They be 2 years in Brazil until they be above 18 to be able to move. Estevan, the same thing. They signed before, so they cut. So they need like wonder players. They need to take them from their under 16, even sometimes under 14 to put them already in the first team, to prepare them to sell. So that's the Argentina teams as well. Masuano now on Real Madrid, the River Boy is the same. So South America, they changed it because of that, and you can clearly see they come here, they struggle a little bit. Like Stefan's doing well now, but probably he'll go up and down. David Washington coming to Chelsea didn't perform yet, so it's a lot of examples. They are not ready. Angelo come the same thing. So it's a lot of players coming without finishing their pathway that they should be. So that is one. And the second one for me, the second one is related to the coach. Okay, Brazil lost their identity.
Yes.
They lost their identity. They never will be Europe. Europe will never be Brazil.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And when Brazil lost, they tried to say, okay, we're not winning. We need to copy these guys. Yeah. That's where Brazil got lost. So if you put these two together, clearly put that two together, that's it. They lost their identity. And Ancelotti there now is just proving it.
And that's really interesting, because when you think about academies now, they don't think about the results. They say just play this way or play a particular style of football, right? And the result will come after. And then just to lose that, like Brazil to say, all right, we want the results, so we're going to adopt the European style, and they're not sticking to their roots, like.
Especially when it's been so successful. Brazil must be, if not the most...
They are the most successful nation.
Yeah, it's the most successful national team ever.
Yeah, it's the only one got five.
But it's easy to say that here, though. I mean, Brazil's... when you look from the outside in, what you see and hear is, the pressure and the national team. Everyone loves the national team. It's a real, it's a really important thing in Brazil. So it's easy for me to say that from the outside in. But if they weren't winning, someone thought, I need to do something different. Yeah. No, it was the wrong thing, clearly, because we're now saying you're not producing magical players.
But then I still believe they are producing. And if you see Brazilian start 11, you can put 2-3 Brazilian teams, they say 33 players from Brazil. They're playing top clubs in the world.
But it's more that type of player.
But they can't play together.
Yeah.
Because they finish so early. Someone go to France, someone go to England, someone go to Spain, someone go to... And then they come with this
Ukraine. There was a
point where... back in time, they all finish. They knew their style. They grew up in Brazil. So they finish 18, 19, 20 years old. They all play the same thing. So there's no confusion. Yeah. And then now you're in France. Now you're in England at 17, 16 years old. And then you need to come to Brazil and say, but...
you're coming with the French style. I'm coming with the British style. You're coming with the...
Here we go. And if we put that three things together,
and then the coach has got 30 days a year. I think you said 40 days a year to try and mash that together.
Exactly.
Into Brazil style.
It's very difficult.
So
it's very difficult.
Can I ask a question around? Do you remember the whole Joga Bonito Nike campaign?
Of course, I remember. Cantona.
And so I can speak for myself, but I'm interested in your thoughts. Like that campaign for me drove my interest into futsal, specifically futsal.
Ronaldinho made the video.
All of that, and before that, I didn't know. I'll be honest with you, I did not know about futsal. I just knew indoor football.
Yeah,
I didn't
yes,
know there was a
exactly.
specific type of
Yeah.
With a
indoor
different
football
ball and
with
et cetera.
exactly
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the ball that
yeah.
was a lot more weightier than your average indoor football, right? Did you see off the back of that buzz and that campaign like more interest in futsal in the UK?
When I
Or
first come to England, 2021, barely someone who know about futsal.
Really?
Say what? Football? I said, forget that. It's a 5-a-side indoor game. But it's not, without a bouncing ball, please. No using the wall.
Yeah, that's the easiest way you can explain it.
If you want, I can share some videos with you. But
yeah,
so not really.
okay,
Okay, because people assumed that was, as we all said, was like indoor football.
Yeah.
So they say, it's indoor football. But then again, the sport grew itself. So UEFA, there's a very huge problem we have in terms of futsal as a sport on these days, which like FIFA have the domain of the sport, but then cannot make Olympics because of the number of football players, and then football is not interested in the Olympics, and they don't wanna put futsal there for different reasons with the COI and be this
Politics, basically.
exactly.
Yeah.
We will end up being there because it's undeniable now. So it will have the World Cup going on in Philippines now next month. So the first women's World Cup. So it's a lot of things going on, which they suddenly, I think in 10 years time or less than that, they will need to insert it. That was supposed to go now in LA. Then they go into the next one now. So let's see. Hopefully we'll be there. But going back to what I said, I think naturally, again, remember I said to you, for me, the key is like the evolution of the game of football. Make us say, oh, where can I get this intensity? Where can I get these transitions? Where can I get this decision making? Then people are going to start to name futsal. Hey, then see players like, what have I done? Where Rodrigo play? Where Vinicius play? Oh, we start playing futsal. Oh, and then naturally, organically, people are going to be more find interest. Why Foden play that way and why Vinicius play that way? Why you don't have Paquetá and you have like we need to wait like every 15, 10 years to have one Jude Bellingham.
yeah,
Why I need to wait 10, 15 years to have one Frank Lampard, which these guys produce this. That's why I go against what I said. Produce this every single season. Some guy come to why? Like Argentinian, Brazilian, Spanish, and Portuguese. Like all these guys, every single season someone comes. Like 30 million, 100 million, 80 million, 90 million. And we need to wait like 15, 10 years as English to see like one Jude Bellingham.
yeah.
It's true.
I think the closest we get to producing talent like that is, like I said, you look at the cage footballers. You know, the that South London seems to produce. Remember, Rio Ferdinand done that documentary about cage football and the players that come from it. But that is almost, it's not exactly futsal, but you're forced to learn
to tackle
how to make there's quick decisions. You know, you're forced to learn to grow
and you hear
and
this
develop.
today, and you almost wonder, you know, you pump those guys through futsal and the football and give them all those tools. What, like, you know, you look at, he's talked about Phil Foden, Ethan Wanieri, Saka, all these players that England are saying now this generation is probably the best England team we've had for a long time. You know, 2 finals, couple of semi-finals, etc. And they still haven't had the same access to everything that their Spanish opponents have had or the Italian opponents have had, etc. And now I'm going to view the World Cup a little bit differently now, you know, when it comes around in just looking at the way teams play, the styles, what the individual players can do. Because Spain right now, the young guys that they're producing and the way they play the game,
What about
it
Portugal?
can't be an accident. Yeah,
Portugal.
And
No one
it's-
talks
it's-
about Portugal. Watch Portugal in the next World Cup.
No, and it's no coincidence that you look at their midfield.
No,
Yeah.
John
Vitinha.
Neves,
John Neves.
Vitinha. It's not coincidence.
Tina.
And going back to what I said about the street football on my presentations, it's part of my presentations because street football, if you take street football as a concept, okay, so let's say you have street football anywhere, poor country, rich countries, like if we're here on the living room and kids kicking the ball without adult supervision, it's considered street football. So they're free to play, okay? So considering that is that in everywhere, took that player from here to put him in an academy, is a huge jump, technically, emotionally,
Yeah, of
disciplinary.
course, yeah.
So must be something in between here to make this bridge. And that's where futsal sits.
Yeah.
So if you put futsal to get a talent here, kicking the ball in a cage in South London, and you put him to play futsal, take him to Junior Charlton, Junior said, thank you. He come here with the same technique, but more shape to be ready to play football here for me. You know, so it's like on like shaping the diamond.
Yeah.
And that's again, that's what futsal does.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's amazing
great.
because you see all the clips on social media now, the futsal guys, you know, some of the speed,
The passing
Aye,
drills.
listen.
but the aggression.
Yeah.
No one
Listen.
talks about the
Yeah.
aggression in futsal.
Intensity.
The aggression
Listen.
is serious.
I learned quickly. I remember one day sitting there thinking, I want to try it. Like, I want to go and try it. So I reached out. I went on Google search. Reached out. There was I can't remember what the team was or the coach's name, but I had to travel all the way to Ladbroke Grove.
Okay. Westway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was indoor though. It wasn't outside or nothing like that. It was like indoor upstairs in this like little room, like almost looked or felt like a church, like a hall in the church upstairs. And when I say out the frying pan into the fire.
Yeah.
Listen, I thought I was like
What
I
was
said.
the
I
biggest
grew up
shock?
playing indoor football.
Yeah.
But
Nah.
this was different. Listen, if I go sideways and listen, I made one pass backwards and they say, "Hey, wait, stop! What are we doing? Forward." The ball goes forward.
What was the biggest shock to you? What was the biggest shock?
It was just constant movement, and
Really?
it's
Worse than indoor football?
No, it's worse.
Now it's cunning.
It's and you know what he talked when Raoni said about the small movements and like if I fake that way and go that way, I just so many times I lost my man. Just you blink, he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I honestly, I love indoor football. I love football. Off the back of that, I like futsal, but that was listen.
You know who I
baptism
think the
of
real
fire.
MVPs in futsal are though? The goalkeepers, bruv.
Wow.
Because-
Wow, it's another transfers that they split. The way goalkeepers used to get out and the goalkeepers now in football, they need to see on their foot, which is a futsal movement.
Because some of those goals, some of those shots, I'm like,
No, but I
ain't got
totally
no
understand
chance.
why I said like futsal, for example, in the pro game, even the same pro game, like we have like many set plays that we need to memorize, and then on top of the set plays, we have like the variants.
Yeah.
Because if the defend moves straight away, you need to be ready for the variant of the movement.
Yeah.
So like we go for the corners, we have like 3-4 corners, free kick, 3-4, all memorized here. Imagine you doing that for a player which is like 6-7 years old. When he gets to 14, 15 in football, you're gonna say, whoa.
Absorbent, yeah.
You know, like, and again, go to football, you don't see set plays so much.
No.
That's where Arteta is making so many goals with Arsenal because people don't expect certain set plays. And he hired one of my ex-teammates
Oh, really?
in the national team. I forgot his name now, to do set plays for them,
yeah.
for the first team.
Well, we talked about because Isaac's big into NFL.
Hassan. I don't know his surname, but he's part of the Arteta team, first team.
And we talked about it's like an NFL playbook, the way they do it, set plays, etc. You know, literally
You're forced
play
to
by play.
think.
Yeah.
You can't just run. You
Yeah.
can't just run.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
need to think. You need to be anticipating. It's a lot of things. Make a player much more intelligent.
Yeah.
Not disrespect to
yeah.
football, but I played both sports, and I can guarantee you need to have a key eye to play futsal. It's not anyone can play that.
Amazing.
John,
And look,
sorry, to ask a quick question. What's your thoughts on the FA Future Fit initiative where they've changing the youth system? So they've gone from 3-a-side for more years, then they go to 5-a-side. So basically, they're playing smaller games for longer. How closely linked is that to futsal, and do you think that's beneficial? What are your thoughts on that?
100% beneficial. I'm never against SSG. For me, it need to be there. However,
so what's SSG?
small
Oh,
sided
sorry,
games.
yeah.
So, however, is that enough? My question is.
I knew you were gonna say that,
1966. 1966. That's a date every single English person FA need to be remembering. With money, with talent, with an infrastructure, we
biggest
don't
league in
have.
the world, everything. Yeah. St.
So
George's Park,
something is
everything.
wrong here, and people still closing their eyes.
Yeah.
You know, and we need to ask ourselves like, what can you do to change? And it's nothing wrong to say, let's mirror what Spain's doing, what Portugal did.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
If it works, copy it.
You copy it, but adapt to your culture.
Yeah, exactly.
But do you think there's kind of like a stiff upper lip in terms of like, why are we creators of football copying?
You know what I think sometimes
Do
with
you know what I
England, to your point, I think it's a vicious cycle, right? So someone comes along and says we're going to do something different. You hire Fabio Capello, right? That doesn't work. So you reset back to we must have someone who's English. We must have some, rather than actually that specific approach was wrong. We still need to do something different, but that different thing we chose was wrong for various reasons. So what's different option 2 or different option 3? But it just feels like in England, it's you do something different Didn't work. We're going straight back to what we know, right? It's the same thing now. I think I said it when Tuchel was appointed. I get it. It makes sense. This is a guy that has shown he has a certain approach. He's a competition guy, etc. Blah blah blah. If this doesn't work, who's going to be next England manager? Eddie Howe. Right? And I'm not saying he shouldn't be, but the reasons why he will just be we tried something different, didn't work. We're going back. It must be English, must be. Rather than saying today now, what we need is this, and this.
Yeah.
This is the way to do it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Spain did this well. Let's copy that. Oh, Portugal did this well. Let's copy that. Oh, we do this really well. Let's carry on doing that. This other thing, I don't know. Finland does well. Let's copy that. Put it all together. Boom.
Bring that to our way, to our culture. We well, again, when they pushed this strategy, futsal forward with futsal, 2019. The big thing in FA, inside FA, while we were still there, was like we are creating the English DNA. Okay, and then futsal was a huge part of it, and that's why the sport exploded here. And then, as you all said, COVID comes. Oh no! We need to cut this. It's not like, look, we're gonna carry on. We believe in this, and we're gonna invest less.
Yeah,
but
slow it down.
Exactly, slow it down a little bit. As soon as we can, we push it back.
Yeah.
No. A very specific person sit down there. So I don't want this, and that's it. And 1,000 people who invest money, who's kids who was already in the pathway for the national team, was such an academy to play. Go shut down.
Crazy.
And that is the biggest problem we're having here.
Crazy. Listen, Raoni, thank you so much. It's
My
been
pleasure.
absolutely fascinating.
Enjoy this.
Yeah, super. We need to get you back for part 2 because I think there's going to be
Whatever you guys need.
there's going to be
Many
more.
stories still to be told.
Oh, amazing. Right, we're going to run through the weekend's games now.
Perfect. Here we are.
You're a Chelsea fan. We'll come to your game.
Okay.
But yeah, another Premiership weekend. Some interesting games to go through. We're recording on a Sunday. We've had the Manchester derby today. Liverpool winning the lottery again up at Burnley.
Let them have it, right? They got to cling on to something.
Don't worry, we'll get to that. Spurs getting a good away with at West Ham. Arsenal taking on Forest at home. And then Brentford away to Chelsea. And then we'll run through the rest of the games. So let's start at the Manchester derby. Manchester City came through 3-0 winners with 2 goals from Erling Haaland and Phil Foden scoring a header, which I didn't expect. Who saw this game?
Yeah.
Yeah, you watched it. How did we start? How did it work for
I mean, it wasn't the best. It wasn't typical City in terms of how they dominate the game. Man United looked.
And is that in line with what you've been seeing from City end of that?
Do you know what? Do you know what? Right, it's a Man United. It's a derby game, right? And it's hard to kind of like look at a game like this as and look at the team's normal form because for example, it becomes a different game in itself. Like you look at, remember Liverpool Everton, that game in itself. Everton always had the ability to,
no matter where they were at the table,
or what kind of form they were in,
fair.
they had the ability to upset Liverpool, right? And it felt like that with Man City and United, but then literally not long into the game, Doku was putting who was at right back? I think it was Mazraoui was out there. He was putting him to the sword, and then he switched over to the left, and it was it was City just looked like it's like they grew into the game. It started a bit scrappy, then City grew into the game and just took over, and United just looked like United, unfortunately, how they have been over the past however long it's been. But I think it wasn't long before City just it was an attack down the right. Doku's beating his man.
Yeah, I think he beat
put the ball in the box, and like you said, Foden of all players popping up for a header.
As a coach, how upset are you? The two short. So Doku starts outside the box, beats 3 players, gets to the byline relatively easy. It looked real easy. Well, it was great skill from him, and then he crosses in, and probably the second shortest player on the pitch is winning a header in the middle of your goal. Yeah, it's just
what was more worrying for me was Sesko, right? And when I say worrying, he didn't. It didn't. Do you know what it looked like? When Højlund towards the end of the season, where he looked just like bereft of ideas. Like there was nothing. He had no impact on the game. It's like none of his runs looked like there was any thought behind it.
Yeah.
His touch was a bit woeful. It just looked like they lifted Hoyland out and put Sesko right in there, and it was the same thing.
And it wasn't a supply issue. It wasn't a.
No, I think it was. Granted, you've got Bruno, who is a creative outlet, but when he's playing in that
My mate Bruno.
when he's playing in that middle two, you lose that creativity a little bit because you need the legs to get about and get on the ball. So rather when you're in the 10, you can let the people doing the work give you the ball, and you can kind of do your magic. He doesn't seem to have, I don't want to say the IQ, but the ability to dictate the play from the middle, especially when he's in the 2.
So do a DLP basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. And Sesko's going to struggle. If you keep persisting with that formation, I know we bang on it about all the time, but I think Sesko's going to struggle if they persist with that formation, because it doesn't look like we know where the creativity is coming
Are we
from.
still giving Amarim grace? Because there seems to be two school of thoughts here, right? I remember I had this not argument. We spoke about it with one of our guests when I was not happy with Vincent Kompany either, right? So yes, you have your ideas, you have your approach, but you don't have the players for the approach, and you don't have the players for your formation. So as the coach and the team, now let's switch to what can get the best out of the players I've got. And you've bought players as well, and it's still not working.
Yeah, for me, I look at it and I think it's a system change is needed. And I don't think it's profile, but I just the profile of the players don't suit the system. So even though you brought them in, you ain't got the centre midfielders to run and give the energy and the intensity that's required to play that game. And I think with Bruno, gets a hard time, because when I watch Bruno, I think his mind's just so far ahead of the others sometimes with the passes that he's looking to make.
No.
But I'm not saying it's right, but he's just like, oh, I'm going to make this pass. You should be running there because I'm going to put it in that space. And the movement's just not there. But I think Amarim just needs to look at it and say, I've got to scrap this system because it's not, I've got to do something now. Because the space, when I was watching the game, the space and time that the City players had was ridiculous at some points. It was like they could turn, they had 2 options, 3 options nearly every time.
And City was beating the press so easily as well.
Yeah.
So then you're in midfield looking around like, hold on, guys. These guys aren't supposed to be here already. This is a phase. This is a phase early. What are we doing here?
And they've been looking and there's one guy spare. So it's
What's your thoughts on?
Well, I follow the Marine Sporting because I watch sporting games every weekend. Watching last night, they won, beat 2-1 Famalicão. And so I'm follow Marine for the last 5 years or so. And as Muriel said, I can't see he changing. He's that guy, stick something in his head, he go into the end, face his beliefs. He hardly change.
And he's a coach that's in the early years of his career, right? And I'm just trying to think, surely even for him as a coach and going through it, he doesn't think he can go through his entire career, or basically that the only time something will change is when he wants to change it. There are going to be external forces that force you to change. All the greatest coaches have had to do it. So I'm just trying to understand what you're at Manchester United already. He's been a coach for what, 5-6 years as a head coach. It's a crazy situation. You've come there. You've now had the significant investment. I mean, his front line alone was how many million? 200 million, right? His front is Sesko, Cunha, Remo. What is it going to take? And I appreciate what you're saying, but I don't think I've seen even Pep Guardiola's changed his approach.
My viewpoint is there's an imbalance in the team.
Yes,
and it's the captain. For me.
Yeah.
Bruno, and it's not an indictment on him as a player.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I just think his style as a player in that formation in this league, maybe that's where the imbalance is. Have we thought about maybe taking him out? Like Keith said, does he have the capability or ability in the current setup, maybe around the profile of players to play in the middle? Or do we accept and put him
in the 10?
In the 10?
You can put Kobe there and just move him forward. Like I'm not saying it's an easy fix,
Yeah.
but just give it a go.
My man Kobe. Kobe used
I
to
think it's a-
play before my games in the National League here.
Yeah.
They're playing for Manchester Futsal.
I rate Kobe. I think he's great.
Yeah. Max Gilman as well. He was my teammate in England.
Oh,
West Ham. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look, I think Kobe's great. We all saw what he did when he came in the team, but it's also fair to say he hasn't maintained the level we saw when the initial came in. If you're gonna replace Bruno at Man United in the current Man United team,
you have to be.
you have to be.
You have to be up
It has to
there.
be. You see when you touch pitch, it has to be fireworks, and he hasn't, unfortunately. And I know there's justifiable reasons why, but sorry, the way I'm leaning to is more. This is where sometimes people outside of Amram now have to take responsibility because everyone, even my mum, if you ask her, she knew they needed a midfielder. Why has the window closed and you've not given Amram that midfielder with legs? That should, from when the window opened, that should have been the first thing you were doing. Belieber is there. All these people are there. People we don't know. We don't have the day out. They're there. They're in Europe. But you spent all this money on forward players and didn't buy the person that would retain the ball for them to score with. It doesn't make any sense. So that's where, that's not Amram thing. He doesn't do transfers. He's not.
I don't believe it's solely on Amarim.
Yeah.
I don't believe so.
But the things he can control, I just feel like he's not controlling. In my view. And he's got his philosophy, he's got his style. And I guess the other side to what I'm saying is he is a young manager, so the one thing that has worked for him is his style. So what am I now going to change to, John? Is probably what he could easily say to me, which is fair.
Yeah.
But you just can't keep doing the same thing. You just can't.
I think you can do the same thing if you can see development and progress, right?
Improvement, yeah.
And we're not seeing that whatsoever. No development, no progress in it. Like, and we had the argument about company. I'd be like, but I can see there's small progress, and I just can't see any progress.
There was no progress in the points.
But then again, like I totally agree with what I said. But like how many games he had with the new signings for
This
this
is it.
system.
This
He
is
has
it.
been trying something with like half of different team last season,
Yeah.
which didn't work clearly. Now he got the new signs. He were like 4 games in the Premier League so far, 5-6 games.
Yeah.
But that's the game, though.
I understand,
Really?
but
Yeah,
I'm
Manchester
just
United.
playing the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
side here
Yeah,
to try to
the
see.
devil
Pre-season, and the thing is, forget the results. I actually think if the team was playing a certain way and they were still losing, it'd be a little bit easier for him. Honestly,
Yeah.
If the team was playing a certain way and
Yeah,
he's still
keeping
losing
it close,
2-1,
yeah.
3-1, it's different. But the performances are a bit crazy.
Yeah, I
It's
think
very-
like, when they played Arsenal the first game of the season, everyone came away with the hope
That-
that
yeah.
this is, if they can play
This
like
is the
this,
benchmark.
then they can progress.
Yeah.
But then you go back to the game before today, where they were essentially outplayed by Burnley at home for a large portion of the game, and it's like, where's the consistency?
Yeah.
You'll get that Arsenal performance maybe every 6 games, but you'll get that Burnley performance
Every game.
four games on the trot.
Yeah. So maybe to your point, maybe that's the thing now. Everyone within the club is saying, okay, let's get
We give the players
Yeah.
now, starting the season, now we're going to judge this
10,
guy according.
11, 12 games. But if you're in the executive team, you know, if you're Wilcox and the CEO, we've invested here.
He
Like,
needs
some
to-
points
he
now.
needs to-
yeah, I've got a boss
Do you know
too.
what? Do you know, and that's the part that frustrates me because you kind of have to accept. You can't say, well, I'm gonna throw money. I want immediate results.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just, it doesn't work like that. You have to accept that there's a bedding in process, and you need time to see results.
And in his defense, he
Beautiful
did
to say,
say-
hard to apply. Huh?
I know, I
Especially
know.
United on these days.
But in his defense, he did say it's going to get a lot worse.
Before it gets better.
And this is it, right? Because I looked on the bench today and I was like, oh, he's got no game changers on the bench. It was all defenders. Apart from Xerxes and someone else. There was only 2 attacking midfielder and a striker. The rest were defenders. And he's bringing on Harry Maguire.
To go up top.
So I was just like,
That's his plan
We
B.
all saw what he did against Bilbao. So
Well,
That's your plan B.
That's why.
I mean, fair play to Abram to go from a very complicated, intricate approach to saying, right, Harry, up front, mate. fair play to him. But look, let's talk about the people that won the game, right? City, as you kind of touched on, lots of talk at the end of last season about Pep, you know, City over, etc. Remember, I came, I said, pre-season, I said, look, They made a few signings. They proceeded to make me look like an idiot in the first few games, but I think they've got all the pieces. And
I think today flattered them a little bit just
Yeah.
because
that's what question I was going to ask.
the opposition.
Yeah.
They didn't really have to
Come out of
work.
second gear.
They didn't really have to work for the win today.
So what was it? More individual moments of brilliance than anything else, or you keep a clean sheet at home? 3-0.
But Donnarumma was worked. He pulled off a couple good saves on his debut,
Yeah.
especially the one from Embuemo. I think if they're playing someone better,
More organised.
yeah,
I
then
think
it's not
Bournemouth will give
as
them a-
comfortable as
They got
it
Arsenal
seems.
next week.
So, yeah, let's see.
It's rich to see Donnarumma now there.
I know.
He got kicked out of PSG for no reason their fee, and then he go to Guardiola's team. It's very interesting to see.
But don't you think? I think Guardiola was solving a different problem.
No, yes, I agree.
Yeah. So he's like, you know what? You might not have feet, but all the other goalkeeping basics, please. Bring it. Yeah. Because look, PSG, Donnarumma's last season, he was in the Champions League run. He was amazing. So yeah, I agree with you. But I think in order of problems to solve, I think Pep chose the
But
other
then
two.
go back to Amorim. Guardiola himself is kind of like adapting his style,
Yeah.
Exactly.
which Amorim doesn't. So
So yeah, it's interesting. Right, Burnley 0, Liverpool 1. Liverpool winning via a 96th minute
I need to mention
penalty
that very specific.
from Mohamed Salah.
You know when
Now,
the penalty was given, these two, they just went,
No, when I saw what he done,
cussing
I
bad
was,
words.
remember what I put in the group? I said, if I'm Scott Parker, you will have to peel me off Hannibal, Because as a coach, it must be so frustrating.
Because that defense display was
And it's 2 games back to
You've
back.
done so well.
2 games back to back.
And then you just moment of, I don't even know what to call it.
Yeah.
What do we call it? Bozo moment.
Madness, yeah.
As a coach, I don't even know how you
can't-
do
you
with
can't
that.
account for that.
Wow. But
I
you'd
feel
have to
for
be
him,
swinging.
man.
I don't even know.
I don't feel for him.
And he
Why
knew,
you jumping
knew
and
straight
turning
away.
that way?
He knew straight away.
Yeah.
Like, didn't protest.
Who you fall
head in
for?
his hand.
Hannibal?
Yeah.
Nah.
I don't know. I just.
What are you doing? That was a simple head.
He's not a young
chest.
player. He's played enough games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ridiculous.
I've just had too much empathy, man.
But I didn't see the game. Was it? How was it? Were you guys battering them? Did Burnley?
So it wasn't a battering. We dominated the play.
But they
In the first half, they had a couple breakaways, but like the possession stats were 81, 19. So from kickoff, it was Liverpool dominating the ball, but there was a lot of side to side trying to progress.
Total shots for Liverpool 27.
Yeah, only like
Burnley
two
3.
only 2 on target or something like that. Wow.
Oh wow. What's going on there?
So it was
4 on
a
target.
typical park the bus.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to break us down, and we will try and catch them on the
a break. Yeah.
And we just wasn't able to. Like, there were a few pop shots and stuff, and it was a very frustrating afternoon. So I was more than relieved when the
And he
penalty was
kept
given.
them really compact, didn't he? He didn't even let them go out wide. He kept them pretty much
Yeah,
in the
narrow,
penalty area.
very
Like, it
narrow.
was 5 in the penalty area, pretty much. And I was like, okay, this was interesting. And you weren't able to break them down. My question to you, though, you know what question's coming, right?
Why are you smirking? You say it, innit?
What did you think of Wirtz's performance?
I knew it. Please don't set me off.
Wait.
Don't
Why
set
are
me
we
off.
starting there?
I just
Not Mo Salah, not.
No, I want to start with Wirtz.
No, but Wirtz is the easy whipping boy because of the price tag. And it's like
lazy.
I've had it in all the groups.
It's
Like,
lazy.
yeah, it's lazy.
And it's not lazy.
Go on.
Why is it not lazy?
It's not lazy.
Why is it not lazy?
Did you not bring him in for this specific reason?
Okay, but like Raoni said, you've got to give them time, right? You've got to give him time. Just because he's 120 mil, you can't expect him. He's not Messi. He's not Mbappe. He's not, those top tier players. No, don't do it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because he wasn't that at Leverkusen. So why do we expect him to be that? No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
Well,
don't do that. He
and
was a
for
very
Germany
good
as
player.
well.
He was a very good player. Sure.
But there is the price tag speaks.
That's
No,
the
but,
problem.
but
That's
he
the
didn't.
problem.
Okay, but here's the thing. It's much like the let me leave that. It's much like the when Grealish went for 100 mil or whoever,
Yeah.
right? We said that Grealish didn't go walk in the room and say, "I want to go for 100
Yeah,
mil."
I know.
It's what Aston Villa said we want for him. It's what Leverkusen have said they want for him, right?
But to my point, I won't be. He's on an agenda, but I guess it's a fair question. It's a fair question to almost say yes. The club decided that he was worth a certain amount of money. Part of that value is that he will come in and perform at a certain pace. Now, I personally don't think Wirtz has been as bad as everyone is making out. But when you are, I mean, he was a record transfer in the Premier League for about 3 weeks, right? Oh yeah, you broke the record twice, right?
Exactly.
Is it not a fair question to say someone of that value typically
Should be shown
of a
bit
certain
more.
level, so we expect them to come and perform at a certain level pretty much straight away?
Yeah, I totally understand the scrutiny that he's getting, because I was doing the same with Rice when Rice landed at Arsenal. It's easy to say he's new, etc., but you've got to put it into context. He's not playing badly. It's just that everyone is expecting magic straight away, goals and assists. If he was looking lost on the pitch, I'd be like, you know what, I ain't sure about it. But he's not looking lost. He's linking up well with Ekitike, with Gakpo, etc. He's doing the basics right. For me, it's like, okay, I like that, but you've been brought in to do something a little bit extra and take the pressure off certain players in the team.
Okay, so then what? Okay, from your perspective, what is it that you think he's, or do you expect him to come in and do?
Oh, sorry, wait. Can I just add to that and say, so as far as you're concerned, part of his transfer coming in was to contribute goals. It sounds like a silly question, but I'll elaborate. Goals and take some of the pressure off Mo Salah.
For me,
Yeah.
yes.
So it wasn't.
So at least, maybe every 2 or 3 games,
Yeah.
he does something where everyone goes, wow.
Yeah.
And we haven't had that. Everyone's just been like, he's doing the basics right. And that's fair enough. That's what he's doing. But throughout the season, I've got to be like, yeah, Wirtz.
Oh, wow. Okay. Sorry.
For me.
I'm different. I if I was a Liverpool fan, if he's coming in and I would take consistent 25, 28 game influence on games than these wild moments here and there that someone's going to see in a clip. Because he's been brought in to effectively be the fluid, be the glue, be the oil for that attack, rather than it being, suck the ball to the right to Mo Salah, right? He's been brought in to make sure that that's a bit more evenly dispersed, old school Ozil type.
Yeah, and that has happened. Like, we're not as dependent on Salah this season.
Which means Isaac's point is starting to get shine.
Yeah, and that's fine. But I just think everyone needs to just slow down a little bit.
What it's like agenda these days. It's big price
go.
tag,
There
etc.
you go.
So I've got a question I was preparing for you guys today. No. So when top teams are not playing well and they win, everyone says that's the sign of champion. But my thing is, it could go one of 2 ways, right? It can either be that it's a plaster, or it's like it's a polyfiller over something, or you know what, we weren't playing well, we were winning games, and now we've got it together, we're just gonna go. From what you are seeing, do you have any fundamental worries, or do you feel like you're almost there? There's just a few things Slot needs to sort out.
Keith said it in the group. What was the stat? What was it? 4 games, 4 average performances, 12 points.
Yeah, I know that's what I'm making. So,
So
for me, I would say defensively against Newcastle and Bournemouth, there were issues that needed to be sorted out. Slot came out and said that. He'd done that against Arsenal. Arsenal you weren't amazing against us, but you worried us a little bit. Kirk has dealt with Noni Madueke as best as he could, etc. Today, another clean sheet. I think defensively, I don't think we're not worried. I'm not worried about that.
I'm worried about Kirkers, but
again,
on the
like,
whole,
that's fine.
Okay.
But I'm not sitting here going, someone's gonna get us.
Okay, fine. That's why I wanted to just check, because it's just easy to be like, oh, they're top team.
Yeah.
Top teams winning when they're playing bad is good, but sometimes when you're watching your team, you're like, no, if we don't sort some of this stuff, this is gonna fall off. But you feel it's the other side.
No, like, you take the Arsenal performance as example.
When my manager was sleeping at the wheel.
You're necessarily our closest rivals, and before we scored the goal, you had brought on Odegaard, you had brought on Eze. So we managed, even though it's like about 10 minutes, we managed with Bar Saka, like your biggest threat. The acid test would be Atletico Madrid on Wednesday, and then the
Not where they're
Merseyside
playing
derby,
right now, to be fair. But yeah.
the Merseyside derby on Saturday.
Oh yeah, with
If
the
we-
new saviour Jack.
Debatable. If we come through those two games, then I think the noise kind of starts to fall away, and it goes back to they didn't play well. They're going to start picking up form now and take it from there.
All right. Interesting. I think for Liverpool, it's going to be interesting this season because the scrutiny is different, right? You spent big money now. You spent it in one window. Isak's still got to come, etc. So it's going to be interesting how the team performs and then how people scrutinize you differently now. Do you know what I mean? It's one thing when you've put the team together. The team you pulled together was all gems, you know. When Van Gaal wanted Mane, people laughed at him at Man United. You lot bought him and it was like, oh, wow, etc. But now you spent, you know, big money like Arsenal have been doing and City have been doing. I think the scrutiny you're going to get is different to what you've had in previous seasons. As in, a lot of it isn't going to be particularly logical. It's the point I'm making.
That's fine. Like,
Once you throw big
100%.
transfer fees in, people just see the transfer fee rather than actually what's going on.
yeah, we put ourselves in a position to be scrutinised, so you've got to take on the pressure, innit?
No sympathy from me though. Anyway, West Ham losing at home 3-0 to Spurs. Hey, I said to a West Ham fan last week, I think Graham Potter's bought himself some time. I was wrong, clearly. And Spurs, you know, they had a bit of a hiccup, but came out swinging. And if you've had a few bad results, unfortunately now, West Ham's the team you want to play on the other side to maybe get yourself back on track. And for some reason, I read this as Sun, you know, like it's still around. Anyway, Papa saw open the scoring for Spurs. Xavi Simons with an assist already. You know, I think that unfortunately might be a good signing. Bergvall made it 2.
That's my player.
10 minutes later. Yeah,
I like Bergvall.
Good
Remember
header.
I said they should be building a midfield around
You
him.
did say. And then Van der Ven made it 3-0 on 64 minutes. So, you know, basically first 20, 25 minutes of that second half, West Ham, you know, kind of gave up the game really. But 3-0 loss at home.
And did Suchek get sent off?
And then Suchek got sent off 54th minute. So he got sent off after it was already 1-0. So yeah, that was a bit of a
That was the
collapse.
nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
There was something that I wanted to pick up about this game. It's more around the refereeing and the inconsistency. I know. I don't want to pile on what's already kind of like a hot topic in regards to the ability and the consistency of the referees.
Basically, my rant last week is what you mean.
But the first Tottenham goal that was disallowed. It was disallowed for
soft.
Yeah.
for the kind of scuffle between Van der Ven and Fernandes, I think
Yeah.
it was. And then there was another corner not long after. I think it was either after or before. It was the same scuffle, but this time it was Fernandes on top of Van der Ven, taking Van der Ven down, and nothing was given. And it was in clear sight of the referee.
Yeah.
And it was just I don't have a dog in the fight because I don't support neither team, but it was just frustrating
Yeah.
to see the inconsistency there because
Minutes apart.
exactly.
Yeah.
It was just.
Do you think that was like size discrimination? So what I mean by that, Fernandes
Yeah,
is smaller
you've got-
than
yeah.
Van der Ven.
But that's
You see
just,
that a lot.
I'm not saying
No,
it's
I'm just
correct,
saying,
but
I-
I've noticed
I-
that from playing football as a
See that a lot.
he's bigger than like if I push over a big guy, I foul it. Say like I foul John, the referee like, look at you, John.
Yeah,
Come
get
on,
up. Yeah,
get
it's
up.
fine. Yeah.
It's kind of
But it's a
unconscious.
yeah.
But it's like it's still a foul.
It's still a foul,
But
yeah.
if I did the same to you,
Then
you'd be like, oh, you know, excessive force or
Yeah.
whatever else. Yeah, look, you know my views on this refereeing thing. I, unless they change the approach massively, or at least just be a bit more transparent about what they are doing. I don't want to say they're not doing anything, but if they are, they need to become more transparent about it soon because
I mean,
every
Howard
year-
Webb can't keep apologising.
well, and also, bro,
Can't keep
the
doing
game's getting bigger. Every year there's more money, this and that. These decisions cost more and more and more earlier and earlier in the season. It's going to get to the point now where getting a goal disallowed against you in game 4, you'll be tracing that back from when you get relegated, right? You know, there's so much money and so much stuff at stake. So they're going to have to sort it out. Or people are going to get so fed up, they'll be racing for AI to referee these games. Remember I told you? Because people are just going to get fed up. They're going to
Yeah.
get fed up.
I think when I watched the game though, West Ham started off well. There were nice little patterns of play. Geoff was a great outlet for them. He swung about 3 crosses with whip.
Yeah, got good
Weren't
delivery.
floated. He whipped them in about 3 of them. And I like Fernandes. I think Fernandes is a good signing. But when you lose Souček after 9 minutes in the second half, and then that was.
I was
it.
going to ask you, what do you think Potter is missing? But again, he played them half the game with 10 men, right?
Yeah.
So
And I think if they had 11, I think they may have got a goal. I'm not saying they would have won, but I think they would have got a goal. 'Cause I think they were pushing in the right direction. Peters looked okay out as a wing back as well. And
Does Paqueta stay the whole season, or is he gone in January?
I think he stays.
He put on a cryptic post saying that he's going to go at the end of the season.
I think he stays for the
I mean,
season.
that's a given. But I was just wondering if
when's his contract run out?
packs it in.
Because if his contract runs at the end of the season, they might have to sell him in January.
And
just
it's
to
a
get some
World Cup
value.
year as well. Do you want to risk staying in a team that's not performing?
To be honest, I feel like if he's performing, he'll be okay.
Yeah.
He seems quite important to the Brazil team, I believe. But actually, Ancelotti is new. I don't know who's important to actually. To be
No,
fair.
he says Ancelotti call him up now just to and
After the whole
specifically say
benefit.
like I want to see him because I never worked with him, so I want to see how he does.
Okay.
Technically, he's really good, but I think in Brazil, Ancelotti want to play him with Guimarães. So the first put him a little bit back to get better way to get the ball out.
Didn't they play
Did they
like
give
that
out
at
Lyon?
Lyon?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, of course, back at Leon.
And then Casemiro around them as well. Then, so
Yeah.
today the midfield will be them three: Casemiro, Guimarães, and
Wait,
Paqueta.
Casemiro still plays for Brazil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what I mean. And they act like he's finished.
No, but if you see him performing, but again, go back. Like for me, it's about individual, like the player. When he knows someone trusts him, as Ancelotti does.
Yeah.
Like he performed,
And
and everyone said
was
like.
his manager at Real, wasn't it? Yeah, of course.
And then now with Amorim, he was like
Yeah, up and
in
down.
out, in out. Kobe is the same thing. When you mention Kobe, I totally agree. But like, Kobe, okay, he didn't. But how old is Kobe? Like
19,
we need, like the
20,
guy made what he made for England, very solid in England team.
Yep.
And why he cannot perform in United? It's all about confidence. You
No,
know,
I
if you
agree.
give the confidence to the player and give time to the player, and then if you don't perform after 10 games, 9 games, if you see quality, of course, he deserves the amount of games you play.
Yeah.
He gonna end up performing. The quality is there and he was support. And Casemiro with Brazil happened that. But
And
then
this
he
is
doesn't fit for United on that conditions. Be like, oh my
Yeah, but it's a player. It's not the same. And another thing as well, to that point, quickly about Menu. If you're the director of football, these are things you're looking at, right? Because I've got to think about the 2 ways to build this team. I need to bring through youth, and I need to go in the market. So even how we're dealing with that, the director of football at Man United will be looking at. We're looking at as well. You said you watched the game. How was Spurs? Were they good value for the?
No, they were solid.
Yeah.
They were solid. They weren't. I think the front line. I don't know why he maybe rested Richarlison because of the flight to Brazil and coming back. So just kind of the time in the air, save his legs a little bit. They weren't exciting, but I think he's just trying to implement the style. But they're very well compact. They're very intense. They're pushing. They're hounding.
Was it that crazy press that we saw against Man City? That type of vibe.
Mm.
They
They didn't need to do that. They
Yeah,
didn't need to do that.
To be honest.
Well, West Ham did warrant that.
Yeah, no, not at
I
all.
didn't need to do that. But I think they are lacking a bit of someone who's very creative in the middle. So Sarr, he's intense. He works hard. Bergvall again works hard.
Cool.
Palhinha,
Kudu.
Yeah.
a great sign.
good signing. And then that's it. So it just, I don't know what to do in the front line if it's going to be Richarlison taking lead because Tells was up.
I think it'll be Richarlison or Solanke, right?
I think Solanke's injured.
He's injured, yeah.
I think,
yeah.
But I
I
think
think
he's
Tell
one.
will be third in the pecking order. Like he didn't really give much.
Yeah, he didn't offer.
Yes.
And I think he's gonna stick to Richarlison. Richarlison is a player that every single manager love him. I personally don't like him, but like as a manager, you can. You,
He
you
goes to
can-
war. He goes to war.
But I
for
think,
you,
for Thomas Frank, I think that relationship, I think he's going to go to war for him. Like,
Richarlison is like the striker version of Romero.
And that's why, but that's why he's making his way back to Brazil because Ancelotti did work with him in Everton.
Yes.
In Brazil, no one likes him. So like, he's not
really?
good enough to be number 9.
Because it doesn't
Is that the style of play he is, or
It's his style of play. He's not
Energy.
performing at Tottenham for like what, got 3
Yeah,
seasons.
yeah.
How many goals he's scoring per season? So people question Ancelotti a lot, but then Ancelotti said, at first I need to bring the players I know, and then after
work
that,
from
I'm gonna,
there.
but he's already like on his second call up. and he worked his socks off. He understood. That is very wise for him. He understood technically he's not like a hurricane just got bang goals. So he said, okay, so what can I do to keep playing at club level, national team? They're gonna give me a place. And so like I need to work hard.
He's smart.
And then when the ball comes, he's kind of know what to do with the ball. He bangs some goals sometimes. And then he got the extra work if a number 9 hardly has on these days. So.
Yeah, no, it's true, it's true. Just back to Potter quickly. He played Paquetá basically as the forward. He had Callum Wilson on the bench, Fu Krug on the bench as well. Again, are you when you're in this situation that you're in, those are the kind of decisions you make. If they don't pay off.
But they both players, like Wilson's never going to give you 90 minutes.
True.
And Fulkrug had an injury and he's coming back. So
How old is he now?
Fulkrug,
32.
No, Wilson.
33.
Yeah.
2025, he cannot give 9 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow. Need to check this document. Huh?
I was going to ask you because he's come back from injury, he did pre-season. Why can't he do 90 minutes?
33 years
He
old.
can't do 90 minutes. Start him and take him off. It's
But I think-
limiting.
I
You're
think-
limiting your team.
Like I said, when the first 15, 20, there was interchangeable going on between Bowen, Fernandez, and Paquetá. So like Bowen would come wide, Paquetá would take up the pocket, and
No,
etc.
I could see the logic when I saw the screen. But when you're where they are, these are the kind of decisions they either pay off or you're a genius, or it's like, stick the big man up front.
But then I got questions, you guys, on top of that. Okay, so, and then I go back to my presence in here.
Yeah.
Okay, and one of my points I raise is the number 9 you used to see on these days is dying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's done.
Harry Kane generation is the last
Yeah,
one.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be Richarlison that way.
Yeah.
You can't. We can't. When I still play football, number 9, even Ronaldo, when Ronaldo started, you miss a goal, look yourself like on the big screen, so, oh my God, and take time. And the game's already back. And
He's still walking back.
5 years ago, 6 years ago, you miss a goal, you need to run straight back and be behind the line of the ball. Let's play.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
first guy to defend is the striker.
Yeah.
So Wilson,
Can you imagine
Harry
doing
Kane.
that now with Maresca and those guys? Man.
Exactly.
Maresca, he'd be blood vessel. Get back in position.
We are seeing the last generation of number 9s, like the big man up front, Haaland, the bigger.
Yeah.
See
Yeah.
Real Madrid, see Barcelona. You don't have these guys of Lewandowski on bench now because he can't like keep the pace of the game.
Yeah.
And Wilson cannot beat 90 minutes for a reason.
Yeah.
Back in time, he could be 90 minutes until 40 years old because they need to score.
Just need to stay in the
Offside, the
zone.
ball comes right
Run
ahead.
left to right, left to right.
Now run back,
Run
follow the
forward,
wing, follow the right back. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's
Do you know
true.
who-
changing.
Do you know who was perfect at that for us?
Cal. I think
Oh,
Bobby.
Firmino, yeah, he covered a lot of
back,
ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Right,
covered a lot of
honestly,
ground.
one of my favorite
You
players.
see the change of number 9s is crazy.
Yeah.
But even in general, to your point, everyone is doing a lot more running. And I look at PSG, and everyone talks about the football they played, etc. But they covered more ground than 99% of the teams they played. And I think I said on this pod.
But Tottenham does the same.
Yeah,
Tottenham
no,
is
they
the team.
do.
Arsenal,
Yeah.
Liverpool. You see the top teams on these days, they're all doing this.
So what I said to the guys was, I don't wish it bad on anybody, but the amount of games these guys are playing and the amount they're running. If you play for Luis Enrique, yeah, from your 21, 22, I don't know what your hamstring is going to be like by the time you're 28.
No, but on top of what you're saying, there's two solutions for that. Okay, so inside the UEFA, some insight. So they are really considering couple of years ago to see what they can do to engage kids, because kids cannot wait 90 minutes anymore like we do. So they be on their phone or highlights.
Yeah.
Okay, so say what can we do to keep engaging people, which is related to the intensity of the game, because football sometimes can get really bored for 9 minutes. You sleep and check your phone and be doing stuff. So the one of the points was we either change it, make like futsal, basketball, so you stop watch, so ball get out, so you can't waste time.
What did I say?
Okay, that's
What did
one,
I say?
That's one of the things, and that's the way that football will go, definitely. Or they become like American football. You're going to have 40, 30 players, which you can keep playing.
Yeah.
Not for the same game, but playing Wednesday,
I
Sunday.
agree.
So this team going to mix it up for 40 players in the squad.
And from what you've seen, do you think there's anything coming down the line? So one of the things we talked about, I think it was around the Club World Cup or just before, talking about against players that played. If I was a players union, I might want to say, right, in any one season, players can't play any more than these minutes. The science will come, etc. Do you think that is reasonable? The science is going to come to a point where they're going to say, we've got enough data now. This is the range where it's healthy. for players to play this amount of minutes within this amount of time. Do you think it's realistic, or actually it's just too? From what you've seen, is that even a conversation that's been had?
We talk about salary cap. If they want to do that, you need to put a salary on cap, like which is they're not gonna accept.
They're not gonna do
So
it.
they understand that already.
You can't have your 300 grand a week if I can
And
only
if
play
you talk,
you.
if you
for
talk to
70.
players, that's why, and they have power to speak up, but they can't speak up because it's going against them.
Yeah.
Say the amount, and the club said to them, look, you want this money?
Yeah.
I need to make it.
Yeah,
So you need to
gotta
play.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing at NBA, right? They complain about how many games they play. They're like,
can't.
you just got your Supermax. What are you talking about? Yeah.
Especially in England, like the
So that's why
salary.
only the big players talk, because
Of
they're
course,
already
then
there.
you're never gonna see players complaining. You see like big players talking about time they play. No. Normally it's gonna be like C, D class players moaning about he played this. You don't see Mbappe moaning about it. You don't see Neymar when he'll speak. Messi, Ronaldo. They know the money comes from the games they play,
Yeah.
and they understand that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
inside
fair
UEFA, people say that. So like, you want the money, you need to play. Unfortunately,
enough. Yeah, it's true. It's
crazy
true.
money.
Oh, yes. It's the bubble's gonna burst at some point.
I will definitely.
And it's not going to be good. Right, moving on to Arsenal. 3-0 home win against Forest. Forest, of course, had their new manager and Postecoglou in place. Some were thinking about a new manager bounce, but that definitely did not materialize. Adrian, did you see the game?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think?
I think, you know what was interesting? I think Ange kind of brought the same approach that he had for the cup final, being really compact.
Yeah, he did.
Like he was like really compact and would try to play at the right time, but Arsenal was just so dominant. Like they couldn't get out their half. When they got out, there was 2 or 3 players around the one player. He had no options. And there was a couple of things what I liked about the game. Obviously, we had the new front line, and what that came with Eze and Madueke is the unpredictability.
Yep.
Like they weren't doing the horseshoe.
Yeah, horseshoe.
The horseshoe go
Odegaard out,
and
back in.
They were like, all right, can I run at you? I'm gonna run at you. And
Outside, inside, outside. Yeah, it was good.
it was good. It was nice to see. And our new centre back.
Mascara, I like
Oh,
it. He
that
reads the
might
game
be
very
the
well.
From
If he
Valencia.
plays for the
Yeah.
season, that will be the bargain signing of the season.
a few people
if,
are calling it.
If
How much
Saliba
is it?
don't come, 13 plus add-ons.
No, he's solid from. And I watch him from Spain under 20s because I'm really in Spanish football.
Yeah.
So and he's solid. Real Madrid was linked to him, but then Real Madrid signed this that Spanish.
Dean
player.
Hoyston. Yeah.
I had to stab. You seen that slander name? Let's not repeat it. But yeah.
But he's fast,
Quality,
he's strong.
quality.
He's not afraid
good.
to play the pass.
Technique with the ball.
Dribble out with the yeah. He was
very
and
good.
like and
Very
I
good.
think what's his name? Gabriel complimented him, like
Yeah, it's true.
helping him through the game. But
Well, he's your lead centre back, isn't it? So it makes it easier for someone coming in who's quite young to play with someone as good and experienced as
Good part of your
Gabriel,
development, isn't
yeah.
it? Yeah.
But again, how much you guys play for Gabriel? No one knows.
27?
Even in Brazil, no one knew him.
Really?
No one knew him. They first people like heard about him was when Arsenal did. Like the scouting, he's amazing.
yeah, and
You guys go really, really deep to
he's
find
de-
talent.
I think, to be fair, I think he's our best centre back. I think he's
Gabriel.
Oh yeah, by far. Oh,
The cup,
agree.
2
Not by
cups,
far,
last 2
relax.
seasons.
No, he is.
Not by far.
No,
He
he
is.
is.
He is.
No, he's
If-
good, but not
if-
by far.
But if you pull the goals,
Yeah.
if you put the goals,
Yeah.
I think it's by far.
He's by
He's
far, yeah.
consistent on defense, but he score goals.
Yeah.
He's
More
been
than
on a
any
journey
defender.
because I remember the days when the ball came to him. I pray.
But what, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
So I rate that even more because that's to be in that position and to turn it around that level of consistency in short space of time. Not many people do that.
He's solid in the Brazilian national team now.
Yeah, oh yeah, must
Solid.
be.
No one
Stone.
question him anymore
Yeah.
at all.
At all. What did you think of the midfield without Rice?
It was nice.
Yeah,
What you know, it is
Well,
right now.
Sociedad.
Yeah.
I heard that.
It
stat,
was-
and I was like, that's
It was the first
crazy.
time, yeah.
Social that the old boys. Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah.
I don't think Forest caused us problems to ask question of that midfield, and Zubamendi was in terms of the physicality and the intensity of the game, he could actually play his game.
Yeah.
So it was a nice midfield. I think it's nice knowing that we can rest Rice, we can rest
Yeah,
Saka.
I was going to say that.
We can,
Like your
the
squad is
depth,
big enough now
the bench.
where you can play the lower league, the teams in the
Careful.
the teams in the lower part of the league.
They finished 7th.
I know that, but I'm saying like you can.
Didn't they beat you lot last year?
He's talking about United.
No, but what I'm saying is, where previously with Arsenal, it felt like Arteta had to play his best team all the time.
Yeah,
where now,
true, yeah.
I think him and the fans alike are comfortable if Rice isn't playing, if Odegaard isn't
And
playing.
in a weird way,
And
you're
no one's really mentioned Saka the last 2 games.
No.
Where previously it'd be like,
Yeah, it's
Marino
true.
there as well.
It's true.
Marino is
so
a
that's
top player.
that's what I'm saying.
So I've got two I was gonna say. One, in a weird way, we're now seeing what Arteta really thought of his squad last season, right? And two, and listen, I can't profess to watching social. Where did Marino play when he was playing in Spain in La Liga? What position did he
Was
play?
he an 8 or was he the 6?
No, he was 8. Real
right.
Sociedad, he
That
was
makes
number
more
8.
sense.
He was number
When he
8
first
all
came,
the
they were
time.
portraying him at his profile as a 6.
He just banked 2 goals with Spain now against
The hat-trick.
Georgia. They
Yeah.
played 6-0. They
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
no,
'cause
Georgia,
he's
no,
got,
Turkey. Sorry,
'cause he's got an interesting
6-0
profile.
away. He scored 2 goals.
Yeah, he's got
Step
interesting
in the box.
profile. He's quite tall, etc. But he there's this attacking knack he seems to have. But I still haven't placed him in the Arsenal team. But most of the time I'd seen him play before. Rice was there, etc. So seeing him play, I saw a bit more and understood a bit more what Arteta sees in him in that game, because he didn't have anyone else kind of taking up the position he would normally like to be in. And then my mate Odegaard, I mean, I got off that train a little while ago, to be fair, but unfortunately for him, he got injured. I was really hoping he had a good game.
I think it was a mature game.
He had a good game for Norway, even though the other team just about turned up. Right, I saw someone posted Odegaard masterclass. The amount of time he had on the ball, I think I could have played those passes.
No, I'm going to do. I'm in September now, so I'm going on holiday next week. When I'm back, I'm going to Moldova. I'm doing a pilot program with the FA there.
Oh, amazing!
Wow.
Yeah,
with futsal
Nice.
there.
they gave him
So,
so much respect.
I was talking to the guy on Friday. They said, like, Ronnie, we really under pressure here now. So
Yeah, please hurry up.
Please.
Cancel your holiday.
call me on Monday. Like,
Let's go.
I said, man, it's gonna take few years, you know. Like, it's not like that. It's not for adult things, it's for
exactly.
child, you know.
It's a generation at a time. Yeah, exactly. Another goal for Gyökeres. So decent start. I don't care what his touch is. Like, I don't care. He's here to bang goals, right?
This is it.
And that goal is the goal your
That
head
we
as a
were-
striker.
yeah.
Can be in the right
Can we
place.
just talk about that though? So Eze, the
I
ability,
was coming
the
to-
ability to, make the
Yeah.
make the first move for the defender and then make your run
Yes, it's up to
and
him.
then put the
first
ball in
time
the
pass.
cross
The
and
first time
in the
left
box, right? So the reason why I want to talk about that is because Martinelli,
He wouldn't have done that.
he wouldn't have done that.
He would have controlled the ball, stood the guy up, and then decided whether he's going to go on the outside or recycle it back.
post.
Yeah,
That's the difference.
that's the difference. Huh?
That's the difference. And to your point about you touched on a couple of times today about what's going on in here with the player. It's really interesting to see, and I don't know whether it says, because there's lots of stuff we don't know, right? I don't know whether it's a result of an injury or something. He's making Martinelli for the last season and a half, 2 seasons. He's been making very different decisions. Whereas before, it would be like me and you.
Different mean bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Whereas before, it'd be like, me and you, we're going. We are going, and I'm going to beat you, and I'm going to have an end product. Whereas now,
He's
he just
second
makes-
guessing.
Yeah, he's second guessing. He's running into alleys, etc. Eze coming is either going to be the biggest wake-up call for him, or is it going to be the final nail in his Arsenal coffin?
But then come a question, like being as a player perspective, okay? And I mentioned about Casemiro and goes to Martinelli as well. You don't think it's like some confidence there where he was on his top? Arsenal keep signing and keep like putting him on the bench and alternating it. I know the player needs to overcome this if they're quality, but we talk about very few players who can do it. I don't care. Every time I put the bench, I go there and improve myself again. But I think Martinelli is more about here.
Well, I would agree with you, but Arteta has stuck by Martinelli and picked him. Trossard came to the club, did okay, never starts. Martinelli starts. He always started every important Arsenal game. Trossard,
But he performed last Champions League though.
yeah, he did.
Important games, he was there. Against
Yeah.
Madrid and Bernabeu, he scored
Yeah.
a goal. So
So
give
over
you
the last 2
credibility to
seasons-
last and more.
Yeah, so every last 2 seasons, there's an important game. Martinelli starts, and even if I remember, there's a period Trossard would come on, score 1 or 2 goals. Next game, Martinelli started. So I do think he's had the trust of the manager.
But then go back to Richarlison. What Martinelli does. Does Martinelli run back all the time?
Yeah.
Not
Here we
the
go.
He's definitely in the
Here we
team.
go.
He's
Not the
wonderful.
dirty
Here
work.
we go.
Yeah, definitely.
Here we go. How many
Definitely.
players on Arsenal does it?
Yeah.
Well,
No. Strikers, wingers.
Yeah.
no, but I think if you don't do it, you don't play.
But that's what I'm
That's why
trying
he
to
loves
say.
Saka. That's-
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's the
But-
one. If you need to compensate. Saka doesn't do that. So
Yeah.
you need to compensate on the other side for
No,
Martinelli.
but I think Saka does it as well. That's why
But
other
not as
people.
Martinelli because Saka
No,
is much
no,
more
yeah.
technical and rely on his technique to
True.
decide games.
But the people that come in to replace them, that side of the game isn't that strong. That's why those guys played every single minute. I think the risk for Martinelli now, if Eze can show
can
a certain
do
level of defensive competence, or to your point about confidence, even worse, he doesn't demand the same defensively from Eze, gives him a bit more freedom, then he's in real trouble, I think.
I think so.
I've got
I
one
agree with
other
you 100%
question.
on that.
Do you think he's a wide forward or should he be played as a 9?
Martinelli.
Yeah.
I think he can do both. But depends who's going to be behind him as a 9.
Yeah.
But now we have Gyökeres. So Gyökeres,
Yeah,
I've been again following him for 3 years in Sporting, and you don't need Martinelli there at all.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Martinelli, after if the situation, I think he will go next season. If he stays the way it is now, bench being like 10, 15 minutes.
But you know what? See, as an Arsenal fan, see this Arteta. Don't be surprised if Martinelli starts the Champions League game.
Yeah, 100%.
What, this week?
Depends
100%.
depends the opponent, no?
Yeah.
No?
But what I'm saying is, it's not it's easy to say, oh, Eze started, so that's it now. Nah, with Arteta, you never know.
If Arsenal play Madrid today,
Yeah.
who starts?
Martinelli.
Here you go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
100%.
That's bonkers.
Well, you think Eze starts?
That's,
Nope.
that is bonkers.
Martinelli starts. I'll bet you good money if Martinelli starts.
Who's
We
on
play
that
Real
side?
Madrid
Who's
tomorrow.
who's on that side?
What, the left side for Madrid or?
No,
One
it's
of
the
them.
right side. It'd be the right Real
Carvajal
Madrid.
or Trent.
Oh, it'd be Carvajal.
Yeah.
No, Trent starts now.
No, Trent starts.
He's
Yeah,
he's
Trent
rotating.
starts.
Yeah, yeah.
Carvajal only started that one game off since Trent's been starting.
Xavi is, I don't know who's gonna last there. I think he's that's what happened with Leverkusen.
Yeah.
Because he touched so much egos.
Yeah.
He wanna make everyone feel important, but at the end of the day, he can't make certain people important. Like
Yeah.
Vinicius, the way he's getting out now, Rodrigo, what he's doing with Rodrigo is unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
But like the way he doing things, we saw in Leverkusen last one season very well. Second season was nothing there, and then he's doing it with Real Madrid. For 2 seasons being that way, pushing people that way.
It's
I'm
tough.
very curious to see next season.
Yeah, I'm interested as well. And I think his background as a player is giving him the confidence to do certain things. But Real Madrid have showed we don't care. They showed. So yeah, look, I think good performance from Arsenal. Things to take from that is the midfield and front line, the rotation, etc. Madueke, really good direct. He needs to add some end product to his game though. That's where he'll lose that competition with Saka.
And the test is going to be when they double up on him. How does he cope with being doubled up on? Because Saka's had to deal with that for two and a half seasons now, being doubled up on. And there was a lot of times he was allowed to be one-on-one with his full-back.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I'm happy for Madueke because, again, unfortunately, I think his confidence took a battering before he even put an Arsenal shirt on with all the nonsense online and these idiot so-called fans signing petitions and all that rubbish. So I'm
that's
happy to
crazy.
see him playing the way he's playing.
Yeah, for England too. So,
Yeah, exactly. Forest, I said in the week, firing Nuno. Well, from when I heard Nuno had a bit of a problem with Edu Gaspar, there's only one winner. You don't wait 6 months for someone to go on gardening leave and join your club, and then 2 months after he joins, he starts to have a bit of an issue with the manager. There's only one winner. He's brought him there for a reason. That's a big investment.
It's a big
Marinakis has
investment,
made.
Yeah.
You're not going to win.
How many is it? 6 clubs he's overseeing?
Yeah, 6 clubs.
his whole portfolio.
He's coming from a club that, if you're Marinakis, that's where I want to go. What Arsenal are doing, etc. That's the direction I want to go in. So there's only going to be one winner. So you fire him, okay. Who you replace him with is another story. So, okay, you could argue, no matter who the manager was, Arsenal a certain shape or form, whatever. Time is going to tell what Ange turns up. If it's high line, I was right anyway. It's the players I had, Ange. Then this is going to be really interesting. If he adapts, he's got Milenkovic there. He's not winning any 100-meter races anytime soon. Then we'll see. But if he does any worse than Nuno, it's going to just look like a really terrible decision. Well, not to fire Nuno.
No,
Who you replaced him with?
No, I think it
Two
depends
separate
how.
things.
I think if Nottingham Forest finish in the top 10,
Yep.
I think that's a good season because they had an outstanding season last season.
Yeah.
They were way ahead of the curve.
Yep.
So I think if Nuno comes in and they finish top 10 and they're in the Europa League.
Yep.
Yeah, they're in the Europa League and they have a good Europa League run, I think that's fine. I know
So basically, he just does what Nuno was going to do anyway.
Yeah, I think if I know Marinakis said he wants them to be challenging for the league and stuff like that.
Yeah,
all
you
hype.
would say that after you spend all
But
your
I
money.
think a top 10 and a good cup run
Yeah.
is fine for Ange, personally.
But I think the owner's expectation is a big thing here because he's got Anderson now,
Yeah.
Morgan Gibbs White. Like for him, those players are good enough. You know what I mean? And that's for him. That's his perception. Yeah.
We have to wait
And
see,
also
innit?
they got rid of Elanga.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's true. Got good money for him. I guess. And then lastly, Brentford, Chelsea. That score has escaped me right now.
2-2.
Yeah,
Last
Brentford
minute
2,
equaliser.
Chelsea 2. Oi.
Hey, Garnacho, losing your man on the back post.
I'm not having that.
What?
I'm not having that because 4 Chelsea players went to challenge for a header and all 4 of them lost.
And Garnacho was
So
Granted-
that excuses.
No, but granted, but why
Hold
4
on.
players going for
Two
one
things
man?
can be true though.
Yeah.
yeah.
Nah,
And the
I
other
think that's too harsh,
It happened
man.
to him just moments before that, and he got away with it. He went out.
Yeah, so that your
And
logic is interesting because that's why everyone has to do their job. Yeah. So if Garnacho does his job, the fact that you 4 idiots jumped for the same header would have been negated if you had done your job. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. That's why it does fall like Garnacho because
If I see 4
that
of
was
my
a
players
decisive
going
decision.
up for a header with one of theirs, I'm expecting at least one man to win the header.
Yeah,
You
but still
shouldn't
do
be-
your job.
So wait, so you're telling me you see 4 players go for a header and you go, all right, my job's done.
No, but I'm more confident that I shouldn't have to do my job.
Yo, man, and you were a centre back.
I'm the man
This
that's-
is why you're
exactly,
fucking-
he was a
that's why
centre
you're
back.
fucking
I'm winning
worrying me.
that. If I'm one of them 4, I'm winning that header.
Yeah, fair, yeah. But this,
But if you missed the header, and then your fullback, your winger missed, didn't clear.
And when
it.
I land, I'm like, why are there 3 men next to me?
nah, see, I went to watch a boys' foot match today. We were talking about this. He keeps telling the guys in his team, do your job.
Yeah.
Stop telling me what this guy didn't do or what that guy didn't do. Do your job. And see,
Yeah, okay. There's blame
100%.
at 2 places here.
I got 2 things. The question here is: it Chelsea's system or the profile of the wingers that are not performing?
Which one
So
didn't
is
perform?
Chelsea's system stopping the wingers from performing that they play, or is it the profile of the wingers are not good enough for the system?
is your question coming from the fact that they've been through quite a few wingers now?
Yeah, and Neto didn't really do anything yesterday.
But that could
I
be
thought
down
Neto
to
had a good game.
Yeah, he's all right. And it could be down to Brentford setup.
But if you look at his numbers from last season, it's not really high.
Yeah, but from the eye test, from watching him play, do you feel like he's not performing well?
I think he's all right. I don't think he's anything special.
Yeah, because when I watch him, I know output is everything, but when I watch him, he's doing his job. If you're the fullback on that side,
Yeah,
it is
pressure.
long for you. Every
You
game,
think I don't
I
see
think their
trouble in
wingers.
fullbacks
I'm
like
not gonna lie to you. I think their wingers have done all right this season. I like
When you look at
Estevo. I
so
think he's.
Madueke
I don't think he's going to be at Chelsea for too long.
that.
I
Madueke's
think Real
gone.
Madrid are
if
going
you're
to
gonna
come.
take,
Sancho,
Let's go.
Oh,
yeah,
Pedro.
fun.
Estevo.
Esteban.
Yeah,
Gittins. Gittins didn't look great yesterday.
yeah, he's still getting used to the league.
I hear that, but what I'm saying is it the profile or is it the system? 'Cause
I
for
don't
me-
think it's the wingers. I don't think the wingers are the issue. I still think it's the centre back pairing that they haven't found
Yeah.
a consistent centre back pairing. And
Doesn't
again,
match the
they don't
rest
have
of the
that
team.
lead
No.
centre back.
Horrendous.
Like we speak about Gabriel. You've got VVD at Liverpool. They still haven't found that lead centre back.
Well, Cole was going to be that guy this season, even though I don't think he's capable of doing it. But
Yeah.
then he got injured.
But even who did they play at right back yesterday?
Fofana.
Fofana.
Why is Fofana playing right back?
'Cause I think they're managing James. I think he's managing James.
What about
And also,
Gusto?
if I'm Maraska,
Gusto.
I think he's a bit.
no,
erratic
you're
at
right. Yeah,
times.
it's a fair question.
Yeah, like I don't understand.
And he was
it.
a big money centre back
Centre-back
signing.
signing.
Yeah, yeah. Been injured, etc.
Like the
Yeah.
ball over the top from
He
Henderson.
took all 3 of them off, didn't he?
What?
I think he took them all off.
No,
at
he took
half-time.
2. He took 2 of them off. He took Fofana and Hato off. And they've made investment. Hato left back. It's really funny with Chelsea because Sanchez, we talk about him all the time, right? I don't know. I don't get it. He seems error-ridden, etc. Then you've got the defense, which I think the fullbacks, you've got good quality fullbacks. You know, you've got James, etc. But the defense as a whole needs sorting. Then you've got an amazing midfield, double pivot. You know, if Lavier's fit, then you've just got this joke where if you pick 2 out of those 3, the midfield is just crazy. Then you move forward a bit, and then you've got Palmer when he's fit. You've got the wingers who I think perform consistently okay, but once in a while, one of them will light up. Neto have a great game, etc. And then now you've got Pedro who's doing well. You had Jackson, who everyone had something bad to say about Jackson, but for me, that guy
complemented the system,
mate. Centre backs couldn't sleep. He would run, like you said, right? Run.
Yeah.
He had a bit of a bozo in a little bit, but he would finish. So yeah, you can't win or do anything consistently without a settled defense. You just can't. And between Sanchez and those centre backs, they need to fix it. Fix it quick.
It's like our friend said in the group yesterday, they spent a lot of money, but is their team and squad actually that good to be challenging for league titles?
It doesn't seem to be. What do you think? What do you think's missing?
No, I think that I totally agree. Like, if you see the team from midfield to the attack, for me, is very good. He's top 4, top 5 fights in easily. But then we go back to the defense. Since Thiago Silva left, we never had like a solid defense there.
Exactly.
We need that figure, like he well said, like Liverpool has, Arsenal have. We lost that when Silva left. We didn't have any player to go there. Say, look, that's the guy. You're gonna control everything in here and say mirror this guy.
And you talked about good scouting earlier. I think that's a slight endowment on the scouting there, right? There's other people we've managed to go and pick up a Mascara, etc.
Yeah, 100%. I will mention him now.
So you know, guys, find that centre back.
The players are there. Like, we got Leone. Like, the players are there.
But also depends what the coach saying as well. No? The manager may be saying, I'm fine with this, I like this, I don't need to go, and then we don't know what's going on behind scenes. Exactly, give me another one.
Because what they've Fofana, what's the one from Fulham? Is it Tosin?
Yeah. Another Rabaya.
Diassi.
Disassi just sold. He's not part longer.
Yeah, Disassi is training with Raheem Sterling. Yeah,
but then who is these players would be playing in top 5 here in England?
Easily.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. Just a quick run through the rest of the game.
Just quickly though, Brentford.
Yes.
Their expansive style was like, it was quite
Expansive.
It was like it was just boom, counter attack. We're gonna go long,
Quick.
direct, quick. It was really like, I'm like, do you have the legs to sustain this for the whole?
And then long throws. They're
long throws.
Not Rory. What was it?
I think it'll be a long season for
Rory.
Shada. I think it could be a long season for him.
Because I was no.
Because last year he had the 2 other guys to compliment him. They haven't really.
They bought the other striker, haven't they? What's his name? He got a yellow in the first 10 minutes.
He got Jesus, or is it or something like that?
Who? Brentford.
Yeah.
Didn't they buy?
He controlled that ball from the keeper.
Ouattara. Yeah,
Ouattara. They bought him from Bournemouth. Yeah,
Ouattara.
Yeah.
And I was watching it, I was like, okay, because they hit Chelsea a couple of times. I was like, oh, they can upset them. And I was watching, but you can't sustain this for 90 minutes. Because it was like, bam, boom, boom. And then I would look at them and I say, they're going to hurt a lot of teams, like 2-0, 3-0. I suspect a 4-0, 5-0 once or twice for the season.
I don't know. I think Chelsea just switched off with both those goals yesterday.
Yeah.
There wasn't much creativity throughout the team.
Oh, no, definitely not. But in terms of how direct they were being, that could be a big problem for a lot of opposition. But the other side to it is so much gaps, they're going to get hurt as well. Really
How
bad.
much you think that was like the international break? Because they're the first team to play during the weekend, and the key players were for the national teams.
Yeah.
That counts for me in the performance. Now we can't ignore that. They play on Friday evening.
Yeah.
It's a rest, play Sunday, Saturday, so extra couple of days they rest, so it counts
Makes
a lot.
difference.
Especially for South America, Caicedo, Enzo, and Estevo talk about 3 key players.
It's true. That's true. And people don't talk about it enough, actually, that kind of travel.
As a player, man, it's completely different. If you rest and then you travel, you can't see. People doesn't see like, I know, like, I want a performance, but it's really difficult. Like managing, traveling, and jet lag.
There's 15 hours back from South America.
Oh, yeah, but it come first class, business class, but
it's still
like, okay, reduce the damage, but like, is it still
damage.
there? Is it still there? And then you're not on that day.
Caicedo's goal. Did you see it?
Yeah, good.
Oh, yeah. It was a rocket.
Good.
It was a good finish.
That's a good point.
All right. Just running through the rest of the games. Bournemouth 2, Brighton 1, Semenyo on the score sheet again. Another rocket in that game from Scott, with Matoma scoring a header, unusually for him, at the back post. What a cross from Inter. He was. I saw the highlights of that game. He was giving them hell yesterday. Crystal Palace 0, Sunderland 0.
Like you say, I went to that game, and Palace's new signing, Jeremy Pino, who's come in to replace Eze, I think he's going to have a good career.
Yeah.
And I'll be surprised.
Player. He did really well in Villarreal.
I think if he's
He's a really good player.
if he's at
National team
Palace
as well.
in 2 years, I'd still be surprised.
Really? After one game?
Yeah, you know when someone just looks a
level
cut above
above.
everyone else. Yeah.
Okay, I'll look out for him.
Spanish.
So again, futsal.
Spanish.
Everton 0, Aston Villa 0. The magic of Grealish wasn't there this time.
Check the data. What's
the score though?
Well, but he's allowed to have a bad game, man. It's all right, man.
No, my boy Moyes, isn't it?
Shut up, man. Fulham 1, Leeds United 0.
The own goal, man.
Yeah, I know. In the 94th
Unavoidable.
minute.
No, it was avoidable. That wasn't unavoidable. No one was marking him. He just headed it into his net.
It looked like it kind of
Lack of awareness. Newcastle 1, Wolverhampton 0. Their new striker, Volt Made, scoring on his debut. Header back post. Apparently he had a decent start. Didn't watch that game, but had a decent start. And yeah, that's all of the Premiership games rounded up. This week, Champions League is back.
Yep.
Lovely jubbly. I complain on the players' behalf about how many games they play, but I'm also the fan that loves when football's on. Every day. I'll admit I'm a hypocrite, man. If there's high level football on, I want to watch it. So yeah, Champions League this week and then back again to the Prem next weekend. So we'll be back next week. Raoni, again, thanks for coming
My
down.
pleasure.
Thank you very
Whenever
much.
you
Great
guys
to have a
want, I'm
conversation with
happy
you.
to come back.
And yeah, once you've come back from your travels, let's touch base again.
100%. Count on
All
me.
right, and that's another episode. Be back next week. Peace.
Peace.